reserves. Along with those internet bids placed in advance of the sale, we will be accepting bids through our Heritage Live platform via live internet feed. Most of you at home or wherever you are will be bidding with us via Heritage Live, and you will be communicating to the lovely Emily to my left, who will be bidding on your behalf. Sometimes a bid will come in from Heritage Live at the last minute due to limitations of an individual's computer or the strength of their Wi-Fi. Please note, a Heritage Live bidder can only submit a bid when the lot is still open on their computer. No Heritage Live bidder can submit a bid once it has closed on their computer and we've moved on to the next lot. My acceptance of a last second, it's usually second. I don't know why this, Devin, we might want to change the last minute to last second because it's milliseconds. Last second is not the reopening of a bid. Last second bid arrivals happen a few times during every auction, and I thank you in advance for your patience and understanding if this does occur. In addition to those of you bidding with us on Heritage Live, we will also be taking phone bids here in Dallas. Our buyer's premium of 20% will be applied to the hammer price of all lots. A few choice terms that's worth explaining. Cut bidding. Every one of you is entitled to a cut bid once for every lot. They are there to be used in your arsenal of obtaining the goods you are wanting to bid on, and if you don't use them, you lose them. So my suggestion, and I will be suggesting it throughout the sale, is go ahead and use your cut bidding. Proxy bids or prior. This announcement is when there is a tie. We take the bid we had first and invite the active bidder to break the tie by advancing the bid, oftentimes in using a cut bid. Still available. This is our post-auction buys. Every session has a few unsold lots, and they will be immediately available on our post-auction buy platform on either the website or the app. I fully suggest that you act quick on these because they do not last very long. If you have any issues relating to your participation in the sale today, please call Devin Jackson in the back there at 214-409-3127. Last bit of business, Texas announcement. I am required to announce that in compliance with the TDLR Rule 6740, notice is hereby provided that this auction is covered by a recovery fund administered by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. P.O. Box 257, Austin, Texas, 78711, and telephone number 512-463-6599. So we ended yesterday's session at Israel, and today we start session 2 with Italian Somaliland, and I think it goes all the way to Yugoslavia. I will be referring, so first lot will be 24330, and I'll be referring this to as lot 330 and so on for the next lots. All right, without further ado, everyone, let's start off with Italian Somaliland, lot 330.
2700.
I have 28 now. I've got 2801 now. What about 2900? Beautiful type here, famous for its stunning designs, vignette of a leopard there. I have 2801. I need 2900 to advance here. Cut bid of 2850. 29 is the cut. You're right. And there we go. They used the cut. Listen to Emily. Don't listen to me. I'm on the cut at 2900. Do I see 3000? 3000 I have now. What about 3200? 3200. 66 PPQ here. Otherwise, I will call fair warning then at 3,000. I'll make that 3,000. I have another cut at 31. Now I'm still looking for 3,200. 3,200. I have 32, now 34. Iconic type, 3,200. Do I see 34? I'm going to say fair warning then at 3,200. I'll make that 3,200. 7152. Lot 331.
2600.
26 I have, looking for 28. 28 I have now, what about 3? 3 I've got now, 3,200. 3,200 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 3,000. 31 on the cut, still looking for 32. Last call in at 3,100. And we'll make that 3,100. 7175. All right, lot 332.
2900.
I have 29 now. What about 3,000? 3,000. 3,000 to advance on this one. Otherwise, I say fair warning at 29 on the cut. 3,000 I have. 32 now. What about 34? 34 to advance. Last call at 3,200 with my book bidder. I'll make that 3,200. Internet. Lot 333.
525.
525 I have, looking for 550. 550 I have. I have a prior Heritage Live. You know exactly what that means. I have 6 now. That clears the book at 600. I'm looking for 650 now to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 600. I'll make that 600.
7101.
7101. Lot 334.
650.
650 now, 7 now. What about 750? My book bidder is at 700 Heritage Live. I need 750 to advance.
750.
I have 750 now, 800 now, 850. I have 800 now, 850. I need 900. 900 to advance. 9 I've got now, 950. 65 PPQ is seen on this green example. I'm going to say fair warning that a 950 now. What about 1,000? 1,000 to advance.
975.
975 on the cut. Now still looking for 1,000. Last call then at 975 on the cut. I'll make that 975.
7175.
7175. Lot 335.
725.
725 I have now. What about 750? 750. Have 7 now. 8. What about 850? I have 850 now. That clears the book. I need 900 now. I'm going to say fair warning at 850. I'll make it 850.
7175.
7175. Lot 336.
440.
I have 440, looking for 460. 460 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning at 440. Make it 440. The internet. All right, over to definitely one of my favorite African examples, top 10 definitely. This is the big boy, the 100 Somali for Italian Somaliland. Beautiful vignette there of a regal lion to the left, 65 PPQ. John, what do we have?
7750.
77 now, 8 now. What about 85? I've got a prior of 8,000. Do I see 85? 85 now. That clears the book. I need 9,000 now. I have 8,500 with Heritage Life. Do I see 9,000? Cut bidder 8750. My Heritage Life bidder is at 8,500. Do I see an advance at 9? I'm going to say fair warning then at 8,500 for this beautiful example. I'll make it 8,500.
7101.
7101. All right, over to Jamaica. This is from the Doctors Joanne and Edward Dower collection, and we have quite a nice array of Jamaica coming up. Lot 338. 27, 8 now, 28 now, 28, 66 now. Now I need 3,000 to advance. My book bidder's at 28 now, no, that's 29 now. On the cut now, I'm still looking for 3,000. 3,000 now. My Heritage Life bidder's at 2,900. Do I see 3,000? I'm going to say fair warning then at 29 on the cut. I'll make that 2,900.
7247.
7247. All right, Anderson's signature rarity here, lot 339.
2900.
29 I have now, looking for 3,000. 3,000 on this one. This is the 5 bob. These smaller denominations are particularly scarce because they were very well used in the islands. I have a prior Heritage Live. You know exactly what that means. Jump in at 3,200 or a cut bid of 3,100. Otherwise, I will say fair warning then at 3,000. I'll make it 3,000. The internet. Lot 340.
1366.
1366 I have. I need 1,400 to advance Heritage Live. 14 I've got. John's shaking his head. I've got 1,400 now with Heritage Live. Do I see 15? 1,500 to advance. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget your cut bids. In this instance, it would be 1,450. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,400. I'll make that 1,400.
7293.
7293. 1,400. All right. 10 shillings here with EPQ. Lot 341.
5111.
I have 5111 now. I need 52. 55.
55.
55 I have now. What about 6,000? I have 6,000 here on the phone. Now I need 6,500 from you, Heritage Live. 6250 on the cut. How says your phone bidder, Keith? I have 65. Ladies and gentlemen, what sets this apart is the EPQ. The climate of the region obviously was not very kind to paper. I have 7,500 now here on the phone. Now I need 8,000. 8,000 I have now. What about 85? My Heritage Live, I have a cut on the phone at 8250. Now I'm still looking for 8,500 Heritage Live.
85.
I do have the 85. Now I need 9. And my phone bidder says yes at 9,000. Now I need 9,500.
95.
95 I've got now 10. 10 I have. Now what about 11,000 or a cut bid at, there we go at 11. Now 12. I do have the 12. Heritage Live jump back in at 13,000.
13.
There we go at 13. Now I need 14. I do have the 14. Now it's back to you, Heritage Live. Do I see 15,000? 15 I have now 16. I do have the 16. 17 Heritage Live is what I need to advance in this lot.
17.
I have the 17. Now I need 18. I do have the 18. 19,000 is what I need to advance here, Heritage Live. Or a cut bid at 18,000. 19 now. Now I need 20. My phone bidder says yes at 20. Now I go up to 22,000 for the next increment.
22.
I have the 22. Now 24. I've got the 24 here on the phone in Dallas. Now I need 26,000. 26,000 to advance.
26.
I have 26. 28. Got the 28. 30,000 Heritage Live. Don't forget about your cut bids if they're still available to you. I have 28,000 here on the phone. I need 30,000 to advance. For a cut bid at 29. I will say fair warning then at 28,000 with my phone bidder here in Dallas. I will make that 28,000.
7501.
7501. Congratulations. All right, over to a very pretty example here. George V is noticed, small portrait of him noticed at the top right. Just incredibly high grade on this one. 55, again, EPQ. That's what makes these notes special. What we got?
8,000.
I have 8,000 now, 8,500. My book bidder has it at 8,000. Do I see 8,500 Heritage Live or a cut bid at 8,250? AU 55 with the Q. Just a splendid example of Jamaican numismatic history. I have 8,000 with my book bidder. Do I see an advance at 8,500? I will call fair warning then at 8,000. I'll make it 8,000. To the internet. Lovely piece. Lot 343.
We need 1250.
I need 1250 to start me off on this one. This is the green variety, the 10 bob from 1918, George V once again. In fact, that's the last George V until we go over to George VI. I have 1250 with my Heritage Live bidder. Now I need 1300 to advance. I will say fair warning at 1250 on the opening bid. I'll make that 1250.
7103.
7103. Lot 344.
500.
I have 556 now. What about 650? My book better has it at 600. Do I see an advance at 650? Got the 650 now. How says John? John's shaking his head while having a Kit Kat. I have take a break, have a Kit Kat, I guess. Well, I've got 650 with my Heritage Live bidder. Now I need 700. I'm going to say fair warning then at 650. Make it 650.
7247.
7247. All right, lot 345.
490.
I got 490 looking for 5. 500 to advance for this pair. Got the 5 and the 10 shillings. I will say fair warning at 490. We'll make that 490. To the internet. Lot 346.
575.
575 I have on the cut. I have the 6 now. Now 650 now. What about 700?
7.
7 I've got 750. What about 8?
775.
775 8 now. What about 850?
850.
850 now. 99 now. What about 950?
950.
950 I have. That clears the book. Now I need 1,000. 1,000 to advance. You got the
1,000.
I have the 1,000 now. What about 1,100?
11.
11 I've got 12. You got the 10 shillings and the £1. Tough notes. I've got 1,100 now. What about 12? Up at 1,150. I'm going to say fair warning at 1,100. Make that 1,100.
7103.
7103. Lot 347.
1,000.
I need 1,000. Start me off this one. It's the pound from 1940 with
1,000.
EPQ. I've got the 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 1,100 to advance. The EPQ is what matters. I have 1,000 Heritage Live. Do I see 11? Last call at 1,000. I'll make it 1,000. 7247. All right. Lot 348.
800.
8 I have now. 850. 850 I have now. What about 9? Heritage Live has it at 850. Do I see I got the 9 now? What about 950? 950 to advance. I have 925 on the cut, still looking for 950. I have 950 now. What about 1,000? 1,000. I'm going to say fair warning then at 950.
1,000.
Have 1,000, now 1,100.
11.
11, I've got 1,200 now. 1,200 to advance. Last call at 1,100.
12.
I have the 12, now 13. 1,300. Fair warning then at 1,200. Make that 1,200.
7247.
7247. All right, tough type here. £5. Lot 349.
1750.
1750 I have now. What about 1800? 1800. Beautiful reds are seen on this one. Don't let the choice find 15 fool you. These notes are incredibly tough in any condition. I have it at 1750 on the cut, looking for 18. Last call in at 1750. I'll make that 1750. Internet. Lot 350.
1950.
1950 I have, looking for 2,000. 2,000 to advance here. 40 EPQ, another £5, but this one's the brown one from 1955. I have 1950 on the cut, looking for 2,000. Last call at 1950. Make it 1950. The internet. All right, pleasing grade on this one, lot 551.
351. 410.
351. 351, correct. I have 410 looking for 420. 420 to advance. My bookbuilder has it at 410. Do I see 420 from you? Heritage Live. The last call at 410. Make it 410. To the internet. Very pretty example here. One of my favorites with the Queen on the left. 64 EPQ. £5, lot 352.
2600.
26 I have now, 28 now. What about 3,000? 3,000 to advance. My Heritage Live bidder has it at 2,800. Do I see an advance 3,000 or a cut bid at 29? Last call at 2,800. I'll make it 2,800.
7247.
7247. Lot 353.
3,600.
3600, I have terrific grade here of 65 EPQ. 36, I have looking for 38. 38 to advance, or a cut bid at 37. Last call then at 3600 for this beautiful example. I'll make that 3600 to the internet. Lot 354.
725.
725 I have on the cut looking for 750. 750 to advance. Last call then at 725 for this quartet. Make that 725 to the internet. Lovely trio here, lot 355.
525.
525, 750. Now I have a prior heritage live. You know exactly what that means. Jump in at 800. 800. Last call then at 750 with my book bidder on the prior. I'll make it 750. The internet. Lot 356.
625.
625 now, 770. What about 780? 800. 800 is what I need to advance. 800. My book bidder has it at 770. Do I see 800? Last call at 770. Make that 770. The internet. All right, lot 357.
525.
525 I have, looking for 550. The current bid is on the cut at 525. Do I see 550 to advance? Last call at 525.
550.
550 I have. 6 now. What about 650? A warning at 600. And we'll make that 600. Yeah. Lot 358.
500.
I have 500, looking for 550. 550 to advance. A warning at 550 I have. What about 600 or cut 575? Last call at 550. Make it 550.
7189.
7189. Lot 359.
1,000.
I have 1,000 now. What about 1,100? Another beautiful type. AU53 with EPQ. I have 1,000. What about 1,100? Last call at 1,000. Make it 1,000. Internet. Lot 360.
1650.
1650 I have on the cut, looking for 17. 17 to advance. I will say fair warning at 1650. I'll make that 1650. The internet. Over to Japan, an incredible example here. 1 yen from 1885, 65 EPQ. John, what we got?
5501.
I have 5501. I need 6,000. My book bidder has it at 5501. I need 6,000 to advance, or cut at 5750. I will say fair warning at 5501. I'll make that 5501. The internet. Jordan, lot 362.
875.
875, 999, and what about 950? 950 to advance. My current bid is at 900. Do I see an advance at 950? I will say fair warning at 900. I'll make that 900.
7194.
7194. Lot 363.
1650.
I have 1619 now. What about 2,000? I need 2,000 to advance. AU58 on this one. I have the 2 now. What about 2021 now on the cut? What about 22? 22 to advance.
22.
Have 22. What about 24? 24. Cut at 23. I will say fair warning.
23.
There we go on the cut. I have the 23. Still looking for 24 though.
24.
24 now. 26. I will say fair warning then at 2,400. I will make that 2,400.
7189.
7189. All right, lot 364.
1600.
I've got 16 now, 17. What about 1,800? 1,800 to advance. AU55.
1750.
1750 on the cut, still looking for 18. 18 now, what about 19? 19 to advance. I will say fair warning then at 1800. 1850 on the cut, still looking for 1900. Last call at 1850. And we'll make it 1850.
I have 1900.
19 I have. What about 2000? 2000 now. Higher denomination of 10 dinars. AU 55. I have the 19. What about 2000? Last call.
2000.
I do have the 2000. Now 2200. 2200 from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. I have 2000 looking for 22. Last call at 2000. And we'll make it 2000.
7189.
7189. Right, over to Katanga with an unissued series, lot 365.
625.
635 now, I've got 750, 800 now, what about 850? 850 now, 9, what about 950? My book bidder has it at 900. Do I see 950 from you, Heritage Live? Last call at 900. And we'll make it 900. Yeah. Lot 366.
625.
625 now, 788 now, what about 850?
850.
I do have 8999, what about 950?
950.
950 now, 1000 now, 1100. 1050 now, 11 now, 12 now, what about 13? 13 now, 14 now, what about 15? 15, I've got a prior of 15, you know what that means, Heritage Live.
16.
Here's the book at 16 now, what about 1700? 1700 to advance. I have 17 now, what about 1800? I have 18, I've got 1700 looking for 1800, or cut bid at 1750. Last call at 1700. We'll make it 1700.
7294.
7, 2, 9, and 4. Over to an elusive type here. Kiao Chao, $1 from the Deutsche Asiatische Bank. Very popular, always in demand. Rare in any format, but you tend to see them more in specimen format. And an issue, this is what they always look like. So don't let the fine 12 fool you in no way, shape, or form. This is a genuinely scarce variety. Lot 367.
8,000.
8,000 I have, looking for 8,500. 8,500 to advance. My book bidder has it at 8,000 for this rare example. I have 8,000 looking for 8,500, or a cut bid of 8,250. I will say fair warning then at 8,000. 85 I have now, 999, what about 95? 95 to advance. 95 now, 10 now, what about 11? 11,000. Missing from most advanced collections. It's got the colonial aspect, but also then obviously being Chinese, very popular. I've got the 12 now, what about 13,000?
13,000.
I have 13,000. Now that clears the book. Heritage Live has it at 13,000. Now I need 14,000 to advance. A cut bid of 13,500. I will say fair warning then at 13,000. I'll make it 13,000. 7, 1, 4, and 8. Over to Korea. Bank of Chosun. Lovely grade is seen on this popular type. John, what we got?
1350.
1350, looking for 1,400. 1,400 to advance.
15.
It's so seldom that one sees nicer Korean or of the age Korean examples in this sort of grade. It is quite pretty. I've got 1,600 now with my book bidder. I need 17 from you, Heritage Live, to advance.
17.
I do have the 17. That clears the book. Do I see 1,800? 18. We've got some nicer South Korean coming up later on, also in higher grades. It's always nice to offer nice Korean, obviously because of my connection with Korea, I guess. I have 1,700 with Heritage Live. Do I see 18? Last call at 1,700. I'll make it 1,700.
7295.
7295. Over to Kuwait, lot 369.
1,300.
1,300 now, 14. What about 1,500? 67 EPQ on this one. I've got 1400, now 1450. What about 1550 now? What about 16? Also a difficult denomination. I call it the whirlwind signature. Rather illustrious. I've got 1500 looking for 1600. Last call at 1500. I'll make 1500.
7296.
7296. Lot 370, which is the 10, the 10 to that initial series, or the first series for Kuwait. Again, the noticeable whirlwind signature, as I call it, at center. 66 EPQ. What we got, John? 1250 now. What about 1313 now? 1350. What about 1351? Or what about 1400? My book put us at 13 now. 14. That clears the book. I got 1400 with Heritage Live. Do I see 1500? 1500 to advance. 15 I have now. What about 16? 16. I will say fair warning then at 1500. I'll make it 1500. 1550 on the cut. Now I need 16. 16 to advance. Last call at 1550 on the cut. I'll make it 1550.
7297.
7297. What a great use of a cut. Don't we like cuts, Emily? Love cuts. All right, lot 371.
1150.
1150 I have now. 1230 now. What about 14? 14 now. 15 now. What about 16? 16 now. 17. What about 18? 18 now. I have a prior Heritage Live. You know what that means. I have 18, 19. That clears the book. Extremely fine 40. These types are, or have always got issues, and they just don't look as nice as this presentable example. I have 19 now. What about 2000? 2000. Pick one. The first note for Lebanon. I have 19. What about 2000? Well, last call at 1900. I'll make it 1900. 7159. Still in Lebanon, lot 372.
500.
I have 500 now, 550 now. What about 6? 6 I have now. What about 650? 650 now, 7. 7 now. What about 750? I have the 750. What about 8? Don't let the fine 15 fool you. Again, these are very, very tough examples. The paper was that French paper. That just didn't survive well with the elements. I've got 800. Do I see 850? Otherwise, I will say fair warning at 800. I'll make it 800. 7159. Lovely grade of 63 is seen on this bright example. It's lot 373.
470.
I have 470 now. What about, I've got 770. What about 800? 800 I have now. What about 850? 850 now. What about 900? I call it the horn of cornucopia note. I've got 850 now. Do I see 900? 900 for this remainder. Unusual as such, too. I have 850 now. What about 9? A cornucopia. I have 9 now. What about 950? Last call then at 900. 950 I have. What about 1,000? 1,000. Last call at 950. I'll make it 950. 7101. An example that would appeal to both American collectors and then obviously African and Liberian collectors. Lot 374.
400.
I have 400 looking for 420 now, 440 now. What about 460? 460. The American Colonization Society, $1. I got 480 now. What about 555? 550 now. What about 600? 600. Obviously, with Liberia's history and inception being deeply rooted with America, the capital, if I'm not mistaken, Emily, is Monrovia, which is named after the President Monroe. I have 750 now. What about 800? 800 to advance here. My book builder has it at 750, but the scarce example, those early issues are pretty much non-existent. I have 850 now. What about 900? 900. I'm going to say fair warning that at 850, I'll make it 8. 900 I have. That clears the book. I need 950 now. 950. Last call at 900. I'll make it 900. 7294. Luxembourg, large example in an impeccable grade, lot 375.
775.
775 I have now. What about 800? 800 to advance. My bid is at 775 on the cut. I need 800 to advance here. Gem uncirculated 65 with the EPQ. I have the 800 now, 850 now. What about 900? 900. Last call then at 850. 875 on the cut now, 99 now. What about 950? 950. Do have now I have 1,000. What about 1,100? 1,100. Last call, 1,100 I have. That clears the book. What about 12? 1,200. Last call, I will make that 1,100.
7166.
7166. Over to Malaya, large, forever popular examples here of George VI, higher denomination, 50 and 100 coming up. Lot 376.
21.
I have 21 now, 23 now, 24. What about 26? Very fine, 35. Great eye appeal. I have 24, 25 now, 26. I need 28 to advance. My book builder has it at 26. I need 28 to advance. 27 on the cut, now 28. What about 3,000? Large size type. It looks and feels like real money. I've got 2,800. Do I see 3,000? Last call in at 2,800. I'll make it 2,800. The internet. Lot 377. 1,550 I have. What about 1,600? 1,600 to advance. My book builder has it at 1,550 on the cut. Heritage, I'm jumping at 16. Otherwise, I will say fair warning at 1,550. I'll make it 1,550. To the internet. All right, the 100 from that series. Very fine, 30, lot 378.
19.
I have 19 now, 25. What about, I've got a prior Heritage Live. You know what that means. Jump in at 2,600. My prior is at 2,500 with John's book better. I've got 26. That clears the book at 26. I need 2,800 now. 2,800 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 26. There's an advance at 28 or a cut at 27. I'll make that 2,600.
7247.
7, 2, 4, and 7. All right, still a Malaya, lot 379.
1,300.
13 I have now, 1,350 now, 1,500. What about 1,600? I have 1,500, looking for 1,600. Last call at 1,500. 16 I have. What about 17? 1,700 to advance. Fair warning at 1,600. I'll make it 1,600. 725 and 4. Over to Mali. This is from the initial higher denomination from the initial series. Very elusive and a little underrated in my opinion. High grade of 65 EPQ is seen on. The Q is very good for early Mali. What do we got, John?
490.
490 I have now. What about 500? 500 to advance. My book builder has it at 490. Do I see 500? I'm going to say fair warning then at 490. I'll make it 490. To the internet. Lot 381.
500.
I have 500, looking for 550. 550 to advance. Martinique. Rather scarce remainder, and probably unlikely to find it in issued format. And if you do, it won't look as pretty as this one. I have it at 500 with my book better. Do I see 550? Last call at 500. Make it 500. To the internet. Still in Martinique, lot 382.
775.
775 now 8. What about 850? Very pretty type. They issued this in various French territories. That is just a lovely pretty type from the Second World War. I've got 900. What about 950? 950 to advance. I have the 950 now. 1,000. 1,000. My Heritage Live bidder has it at 950. Do I see it? I've got 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 1,100.
1050.
I have 1050 now. Still looking for 1,100. 11 to advance. Last call, then at 1050 on the cut.
11.
11 I have. Now, what about 12? 12 to advance.
200.
12 I've got. What about 1,300? Fair warning at 1,200. Make it 1,200.
7175.
7175. Lot 383.
725.
725 now, 7800 now. What about 850?
850.
850 now. What about 900 to advance. I have 875 on the cut, still looking for 900. 9 I have now, 950. 950 to advance.
925.
I have 925 yet again on the cut, still looking for 950. 950 I have now, 1,000. 1,000. 65 EPQ. Last call then at 950. I'll make that 950.
7298.
7298. All right, lot 384 issued AU58. Rather rare in this format, and when you do find these, yet again, the elements weren't very nice to the kind of paper they used, and therefore they don't look as nice as the one on offer. John, what we got?
4600.
46 I have now. What about 48? AU55, pretty large format, high denomination. I think that, yes, it's 1,000, the old 1,000 francs, but it's 10 nouveau franc. I have 4,600. Do I see 48? I bet at 47. Last call in at 4,600.
47.
47 now.
48.
48. What about 5,000 to advance. Otherwise, I will say fair warning then at 4,800. I'll make it 4,800 to the internet. All right, lot over to Mauritius, lot 385.
625.
625 now, 657 now. What about 750?
725.
I got 725, 750 now, 800. 800 now. What about 850? 66 EPQ is seen on this George VI, 50 cents from the Second World War. Now, I sound like a broken record. They don't look as nice as these do, as this one does, for obvious reasons. Again, because of the climate and small change denominations and varieties were just used to bits. This is a beautifully fresh gem uncirculated 66 with EPQ. I've got 950 now. What about 1,000? 1,000 to advance.
1000.
I do have 1,000 now. What about 1,200? They very rarely or almost never look as nice as this one. I have 11 now. What about 1,200? I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,100. I'll make that 1,100.
7117.
7117. All right. Absolutely pretty example again. Lot 386. This is the 25 rupees. AU58. What do you got, John? 29 I have now. What about 3,000? Infinitely popular, this one. I have, my book bidder has it at 2,900. Do I see 3,000? Have it on the cut of 2,900. I need an advance, 3,000 to advance here. Otherwise, I will say fair warning then for this pretty example at 2,900. I'll make it 2,900. Insane. All right, lot 387.
1,200.
1,200 I have now. What about 1,300? 1,300 to advance. Missing from most Mauritius collections. I need 1,300 to advance. They made 1,000 rupees for this series, but I don't think it circulated, as it just represented so much money. I do have 1,200. Do I see 1,300? Last call at 1,200. Make it 1,200. The internet. Over to Mexico, lot 388.
725.
725 I 8 now. What about 820 now? What about 850? My book bidder has it at 820. Here it is live. Jumping at 850. Bunker to Mexico. Last call at 820. I'll make it 820. The internet. You're doing a switcheroo. Wait for you. All right, lot 389.
975.
975 on the cut now, and 1,000 I have. I've got a prior now that clears the book at 1,100. I need 1,200. 1,200 to advance. Last call at 1,100. 1150 now, 12. 1,200 to advance. Last call at 1150 on the cut. I'll make 1150. 7166. Now, over to Mongolia. These notes need no introduction whatsoever. They are just beyond pretty. Sort of thing that I would gladly frame and put up on my wall because it's just so pretty. It's works of art. Lot 390.
2,400.
2,400 I have now. I've got 26, 27 now. What about 28? My book bidder has it at 27. I need 20, 28 now. I have that clears the book. I need 20. I need 3,000 now. This very, very pretty example. 63 PPQ. Often they have some rust issues. I have 28 now. What about 3,000? But not this one. This one's very pretty and bright with PPQ. I have 28. Do I see 3,000? I'm going to say fair warning at 2,800. Make it 2,800. 7178. I've always wanted to own one of these, John, but I can't afford them. Lot 391.
3,100.
I have 3,100 now. Do I have 32, 44 now? What about 36? 3,600 to advance. 36 I have now. 38 now. What about 4,000? 4 I have. That clears the book now. I've got 4,000. Do I see 4,200? Cut bid at 41. 63 here with EPQ. I have 4,000. Do I see 4,200? Last call. We'll make it 4,000. 7178. All right. This will be my last lot for a little bit before I pass you over to Emily, and we will lot 392.
2,600.
26 I have now. What about 28, 30,000 now? What about 32? AU 50. I have 3,000. I need 3,200 for us to advance Heritage Live. Cut bid at 31 perhaps. I'm going to say fair warning then at 3,000 with my book bidder. I will make it 3,000. The internet. All right, as promised, I'll pass you over to Emily, and I'll be back in a little bit. I think they either intentionally or duplicitously put me up for South Africa, right? I think there might have been some intent behind that. But I do want to say one thing before I let Emily take over, is that we've had generally quite a lovely represented offering so far in session 1 and session 2 of many corners of the world. But the Netherlands that Emily is going to be auctioning off next is noticeably notable because of their grade. It's definitely some of the nicest early Dutch examples that I've handled, and I handled them raw, with just impeccable grade results. So have fun with that.
We can turn it off. All right, thank you, Craig. We will continue with Netherlands, lot 393. It's 1250 now, go 13. Advance out of 1300. Here we have a nice selection from the Netherlands, and most notably, the obscenely high grades achieved by some of these. So take advantage of this opportunity, Heritage Live. Let's advance out of 1300. It's 1250 on the cut, unless I see 13. Fair warning. 1250. Internet buyer. Lot 394. It's 675, asking for 7. We've opened up on the cut. Advance that is 700. It's 675, bid this 7. Heritage Live, press that bid button to join us with your bid. Fair warning. 675 it is. Internet buyer. Lot 395. It's 500 now, asking for 550. There's 550. It's with Heritage Live, but 600 is against you. Come back in at 650. It's 700 now, bid the 750. Let's advance here, Heritage Live. 800 is against you. Try 850. 850 is bid. 900 now, go 950. It's 900. Come back in with 950, Heritage Live. Let's advance here. There's 950 and 1,000 now, but 11. It's 1,000. There's 1,100 with Heritage Live asking for 12 next. Let's advance here to 1,200. 1,100 is the bid. 1,200 is the advance. Heritage Live bid that 12. It's 1,100 unless I see the cut of 1,150 or 1,200. Fair warning. 1,100. 7299. Lot 396. 3,100, there's 32. It's 34 now, bid 36. 3,400 is the bid, asking for 3,600 to advance. Heritage Live, press that bid button. Bid 3,600. It's 34 now, go 36. It's 35 on the cut, and there's 36. Now advance to 3,800. 3,600 is the bid, asking for 38. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid that 3,800 next. It's 36 now. There's 38. 4,000 is bid. Advance out of 4,200. 4,000 now, go 42. It's 4,000 asking for 42 from you, Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 4,200 or use that cut of 41. But Heritage Live, bid now. It's 44 against you. Try 4,600 next. 44 is the bid and it's on the internet. Heritage Live, come back with 4,600 to advance. 44, there's 46. It's 48. Now advance to 5,000. 4,800 is the bid, asking for 5 next. Let's advance here to 5,000. 5 is bid. There's 55. Heritage Live, advance now to 6,000. 5,500 is the bid. It's on the internet. 6,000 is next. Let's advance here to 6,000. Heritage Live, the cut is 5,750. Any further advancements? Fair warning. 5,500. Internet buyer. Lot 397. 1,550 is the bid, asking for 1,600. We've opened up on the cut. Heritage Live. Advance out of 16. It's 1,550 on the cut unless I see 16. Fair warning. 1,550. Internet buyer. Lot 398. 1,200 now, bid 13. It's 12, asking 13 next. 13 is bid. It's with Heritage Live, asking for 1,400 to advance now. Bid 1,400. 13, asking 14 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Press that bid button. Show me 1,400 or use that cut here of 1,350. Just a little bit more could put you at the top. Press that bid button now. Fair warning. 1,300. 7,299. Lot 399. It's 1,650, there's 1,700. 18 is against you, let's go 19. It's 1,800, it's on the internet, Heritage Live, and 19 is bid, there's 2,000, now go 22. It's 2,000, there's 22, and 24, go 26. 2,400 is the bid, asking for 26 next. Let's advance here to 26. It's 24, and it's against you, Heritage Live. Let's advance to 2,600, or try that cut here of 25. Fair warning. 2,400. Internet buyer. Lot 400. 2,600 is the bid, asking for 28. It's 26 now, go 28 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid that 2,800 or use your cut here of 27. Fair warning. 2,600. Internet buyer. Lot 401. 825, there's 900. 950 is the bid. There's 1,011. Now go 12. 1,100 asking for 12 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance. Bid the 12. 1,100 is the bid, asking 12. Heritage Live. There's 12. It's a prior. Come back at 1,300. It's 1,200, but it's not with you, Heritage Live. We received that before the sale. Let's advance now to it's 1,250 on the cut with Heritage Live. Still asking for 1,300 to advance here. Bid 13. 1,250 on the cut, now say 13. Let's advance out of 1,300 or the cut will take it. Fair warning. 1,250. 7300. Lot 402. It's 825. There's 1,550 and 16. Now bid 1,700. It's 1,600. It's on the internet, Heritage Live. Come back in with 1,700 to advance. 16 is the bid. Let's go 17 or use that cut here of 1,650. It's 17 and 18. Now bid 1,900. 19 is bid. There's 2,000. Now bid 2,200. 2,000 is the bid, asking 22. It's 21 on the cut. There's 22. Now bid 24. 24, go 26. 26, now say 28. It's 26, there's 28. It's a prior 28 Heritage Live. Come back at 3,000. That 28 is not with you. Let's advance to 3,000. It's 2,800. It's on the internet, Heritage Live. There's 3,000 with Heritage Live asking 32 next. Let's advance here to 3,200. 3,000 is the bid, say 32. Is 3, now bid 32. Go 34 now. Advance to 3,400. There's 34 now, go 36. It's 3,400 asking for 36 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Press that bid button. Go 3,600 or use that cut here of 35. But Heritage Live, bid it now. Fair warning. 3,400.
7301.
7301, lot 403.
775.
It's 775 asking for 800. 775 is the bid. We're on the cut, Heritage Live. Half the work is already done for you. Just press that bid button. Let's go 800 or fair warning here. That's 775. Internet buyer. Lot 404.
925.
It's 925. There's 1050. We're on the cut. Advance now to 1100. It's 1050 now. Bid 11 next. Heritage Live. Let's go 11 to advance. 11 we have now. Bid 12. It's 1100 asking for 12 next. Bid that 1200 Heritage Live and let's advance. The cut here would be 1150. Fair warning. 1100.
7302.
7302. Lot 405.
925.
It's 925 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 950. It's 925, but the 950 next 950 we have. There's 1,002. Let's advance now to 11. 11 and 12 now go 13. 13 is bid. There's 14 now asking 15 to advance here. Heritage Live. Bid the 15. It's 1,400 and it's against you. Heritage Live. Let's advance. Bid 1,500. The cut here would be 1,450. Any further advancements? Fair warning. 1,400. Internet buyer. Lot 406. Here we have some additional catalogers comments. This is pick 75B and not 75A as previously graded by PMG.
801.
It's 801 asking for 850. 801 is the bid. 850 is next. Heritage Live. Let's advance to 850 here or that cut of 825. Fair warning. 801. Internet buyer. Lot 407.
825.
It's 825. There's
Prior.
850. That's a prior. Heritage Live, come back in at 9. 9 we have now, go 950. It's 9 now, bid 950 next. Heritage Live, let's advance here to 950. Bid 950 or use your cut here of 925, but press that bid button now. Fair warning. 900.
7299.
7299. Lot 408.
3,900.
3,946 and 48 now bid 5,000. It's 4,800 asking for 5 to advance here. Heritage Live, join us with your bid of 5,000. 4,800 is the bid. Let's go 5 or use your cut here 49. There's 5,000 and 55. Now advance to 6,000. 5,500 is the bid. 6,000 is next. Heritage Live, press that bid button and let's advance at 6,000. It's 55 now, go 6. There's 5750 on the cut, and 58 is against you. Heritage Live, advance to 6,000. 5,800 is the bid. It's an off increment. Bid 6,000 to advance. It's 5,800 unless I see 6,000. Fair warning.
6,000.
Yes, it's 6,000. It's with Heritage Live asking for 65 to advance now. We have it. 7,000 is next. Advance on a 7. It's 6,500 now, but the 7,000. Heritage Live, press that bid button. Let's advance here to 7,000. It's 6,500. There's 7,000. Now advance to 75. 75, go 8. It's 7,500. It's with Heritage Live asking for 8,000 from those other bidders out there. Let's advance here to 8,000. 7,500 now, go 8. Advance to 8,000 or use that cut here of 7,750. But Heritage Live, fair warning. 7,500.
7303.
7303. Lot 409.
250.
It's 5250 asking for 55. 5250 is the bid. We've opened up on the cut.
6,000.
It's 55 and there's 6,000. Now advance to 65. 6,000 is the bid. Let's advance next to 6,500. Heritage Live, press that bid button. Go 65 or try your cut here 6250. But let's advance now. Fair warning. 6,000. Internet buyer. Lot 410.
1350.
It's 1350 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, you know what to do. Advance now to 1,400. It's 1350 now, bid 14. It advanced to 1400, or the cut will take it. There's 1400. It's with Heritage Live asking for 15 next. It advanced now to 1500. It's 14 now. Bid 15. Press that bid button, Heritage Live. Show me 1500 next, or use that cut here of 1450. Fair warning. 15 is bid, asking 16. It's 15 now. Go 16 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Press that bid button. Bid 1600. It's 15 now. Go 16, or use that cut of 1550. Heritage Live, advance your bids now. Fair warning. 1500. 7302. Lot 411.
1300.
1300 now, asking 1400. It's 13 now. Bid 14 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Press that bid button. Go 14. We'll try that cut here for 1350. Fair warning. 1300. Internet buyer. Lot 412.
625.
It's 625 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, advance out of 650. It's 625 now. Bid the 650 next. Let's advance to 650. Fair warning. That's 625. Internet buyer. Lot 413.
1150.
17.
It's 1700. There's 18 now, asking 19. It's 1800. Bid the 19 next.
2000.
It's 19. There's 2000 and 22 and 24. Go 26. It's 2400, asking for 26 next. Heritage Live. Bid at 26. Now go 28. 2600 is the bid. Asking for 28 to advance now. Bid the 28. Heritage Live. Let's go 2800 next. Or use that cut here of 27, but press that bid button. Fair warning. 2600.
7299.
7299. Lot 414.
975.
975. There's 1100 now. Bid the 1200 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 1200. It's 1100 and it's with a Heritage Live bidder asking for 12. Bid 1200 or try that cut here of 1150. Fair warning.
1150.
Yes, now bid 1200. We're on that cut of 1150. Heritage Live, advance now to 12. Bid 1200 next, or will the cut take it? Heritage Live, fair warning.
12.
Yes, now bid 1300. It's 1200 now, asking 13 next. Heritage Live, let's advance here to 1300. It's 12, it's with the Heritage Live bidder asking for 13 from those other bidders out there. Let's advance now to 13, or that cut of 1250. Fair warning. 1200.
7197.
7197. Lot 415.
75.
It's 875 and 1000 is the bid. There's 1001 against you, Heritage Live. Let's advance now to 11. It's 1001. There's 1050 on the cut with Heritage Live. Still asking for 11. 11 we have. Now bid 12. It's 1100 asking for 12 to advance. Heritage Live, bid that 1200 next. 1150 on the cut again. Still asking for 12. Heritage Live, advance now to 1200. It's 1150. We're on the cut. There's 12. Now bid 13. It's 12 now, asking 13 next. Bid that 13 and let's advance. It's 12, go 13. Heritage Live, advance to 1300 or use that cut here of 1250. Fair warning. 1200. 7197. Lot 416.
701.
701. There's 750 now, bid 800. It's 750 asking for 8. 8 we have now, bid 850. It's 8. It's with Heritage Live asking for 850 from those other bidders out there. Bid the 850 next. And let's advance. There's 825 on the cut, still asking for 850. Heritage Live, don't let them cut you out here. Advance now to 850. 850 is the bid, asking for 9. Let's advance now to 900. 850, go 9. It's 850 now, say 9 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. There's 9, now bid 950. It's 900, asking for 950 to advance here, Heritage Live. Bid 950 next. It's 9, now go 950, or try your cut here of 925. Heritage Live, fair warning. 900.
Bidder 7300.
7300. Lot 417.
925.
It's 925. There's 1001. Heritage Live, come in at 11. Maybe try that cut of 1050. There's 1100 now, bid 12. 1100 asking for 12 to advance here. Bid that 1200 next. It's 11 now. Bid the 12. 1150 on the cut. Still asking for 12. Heritage Live. Advance now to 1200. It's 1150 now. Bid the 1200. Let's advance here to 12. It's 1150. Go 1200 or the cut will take it. Fair warning. The cut it is 1150.
7304.
7304. Lot 418.
675.
675, Heritage Live, we're on that cut. Let's advance now to 700. It's 675 now, bid the 7 next. Heritage Live, go 700. There we have it. There's 750 against you. Come back at 800. It's 750 now, bid the 800 next. Heritage Live, advance here. Bid 800. 750 is the bid. Unless I see 800 or the cut of 775, fair warning. 750. Internet buyer. Lot 419.
1350.
1350 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, you know what to do. Advance now to 1400. It's 1350 now, go 14. Bid that 14 and let's advance, or the cut will take it. Fair warning. That's 1350. Internet buyer. Lot 420.
1550.
1550 is the bid. Another one opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, let's advance. Go 1600. It's 1550 now, bid the 16. Heritage Live, advance to 1600. Fair warning. The cut it is, 1550. Internet buyer. Now moving on to Netherlands Indies with lot 421.
2700.
2700 asking for 28. Heritage Live, we're on the cut. Advance now to 2800. It's 27 now. Go 28 next. We're fair winning here. 2700. Internet buyer. Lot 422.
1950.
1950 is the bid opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid 2000. It's 1950 now. Go 2000 next. It advanced now to 2000. Fair warning. That's 1950. Internet buyer. Lot 423. Now we're in New Zealand.
2100.
2100 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, advance out of 22. It's 21 now. Go 22 next. Press that bid button and join us with your bid of 22, or the cut takes it. Fair warning. 2100. Internet buyer. Lot 424.
1550.
It's 1550 now, bid 1600. It's 1550, that's a cut bid, Heritage Live. It advanced now to 16. It's 1550 now, go 16, or fair warning. There's 1617 is against you, Heritage Live. Try again, let's go 1800. It's 1700, it's on the internet, Heritage Live. I need to hear from you to advance. Bid that 1800 next, or use your cut here of 1750. But Heritage Live, advance now, fair warning. 1700, internet buyer. Lot 425.
775.
775, there's 800 now, bid 850. It's 800, it's with Heritage Live, asking for 850, and we have it now, bid 9. It's 850, go 900 next, Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 900. 850 is the bid, go 9. It's 850 now, asking 9, Heritage Live, advance to 900, or that cut of 875. Fair warning here. 875 on the cut with Heritage Live, still asking for 9. Let's advance here to 900. It's 875, there's 900 now, bid 950 next. Let's advance here to 950. There's 950 now, go 1,000. Let's advance now to 1,000. It's 950 now, bid the 1,000. It's 975 on the cut. Heritage Live still asking for 1,000, and we have it. Let's bid 11. It's 1,000 now, go 1,100. 1,000 asking 11, Heritage Live, press that bid button. There's 11. Now advance to 1,200. It's 11 now, go 12. 1,100 is the bid, asking for 12. 12 we have now, go 12, or now go 13. It's 12 now, bid 13 next, Heritage Live, advance out of 1,300. 13 is bid, now go 14. 14, now say 15. 1,400, bid the 15 to advance here, Heritage Live. Let's advance at 1,500. It's 14 now, go 15. Advance to 1,500, or try your cut here, 1,450, but press that bid button, Heritage Live. Fair warning. 1,400.
7148.
7148. Lot 426.
775.
775, there's 850, now bid 9. 850 is the bid, asking for 900 here, Heritage Live. Let's advance, bid 900. It's 850 now, go 9. Try that cut here of 875. Heritage Live, fair warning. 850.
7108.
7108. Lot 427.
1550.
1550 now, 16 is bid. That's a prior, Heritage Live. Come back in at 1,700. It's 16 now, bid 17 next. Let's advance at 1,700, or try that cut here of 1,650. But Heritage Live, I need to hear from you. Fair warning. 1,600. Internet buyer. Now we're in Nigeria with lot 429.
875.
It's 875 asking for 9. Let's advance here to 900. It's 875. We've opened up on the cut. Heritage Live. There's 900 and 950. It advanced now to 1,000. It's 950 now. Bid 1,000 next. Heritage Live. Press that bid button. Let's advance at 1,000. 950 is the bid. Go 1,000 or use that cut here of 975. Heritage Live. Fair warning. 950. Internet buyer. Now we're on to Northern Ireland with lot 430.
925.
It's 925 asking for 950. Another one opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, you know what to do. Advance now to 950 or the cut will take it. Fair warning. 925. Internet buyer. Moving on to Norway with lot 431.
1,800.
It's 18. There's 3,200 now. Bid 34. It's 3,200. It's on the internet. Heritage Live. Let's advance out of 3,400. 32 is the bid. Go 34. The advance is 3,400 or try your cut here of 33. Heritage Live. Fair warning. 3,200. Internet buyer. Lot 432.
750.
It's 800. That's a prior Heritage Live. 850 is with Heritage Live asking for 9. Let's advance out to 900. It's 850 now. Bid the 9 next. Press that bid button. Heritage Live. Show me 900 or try your cut here of 875. Fair warning. 850. 7,300. Lot 433. We're in Oman now.
1,400.
It's 14 now. Bid 15. 15 is a prior Heritage Live. Come back at 1,600. It's 16 now. Bid 17. 16 asking 17 next. Let's advance here to 1,700. It's 1,600. It's with a Heritage Live bidder and 1,650 on the cut. Let's advance to 1,700. 1,650 is the bid. We're on the cut. Heritage Live. Don't let them cut you out here. Advance now to 1,700. It's 1,650 on the cut. There's 17 now, asking 18 to advance. Bid 1,800. 1,700 is the bid, asking for 18. Heritage Live. Bid the 1,800 next. 18 we have. Now go 1,900. It's 18 asking 19 to advance here. Heritage Live. Bid that 1,900 next. Press that bid button. Heritage Live. Go 1,900 or use that cut here of 1,850. Fair warning. 1,800. 7305. Now we're in Pakistan with lot 434.
1,600.
It's 17 and 18 now. Bid 19 next. 1,800 is on the internet. Heritage Live.
2,000.
There's 19 and 2. 22 is bid. It's with Heritage Live, asking for 2,400 next. Let's advance here to 2,400. It's 22 now. Bid the 24. It's 22. It's with a Heritage Live bidder asking for 24 from those other bidders out there. Let's advance. Press that bid button. Go 24 or the cut of 23. Fair warning. 2,200. 7306. Lot 435.
2,700.
It's 2,700 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live. Let's advance. Bid 28. It's 27 now. Go 28 next. We're on the cut unless I see 28. Fair warning. The cut it is, 2,700. Internet buyer. Now we're in Palestine with lot 436.
5,500.
It's 55 now. Bid 6,000. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 6. 55 is the bid. Go 6,000 or that cut of 5,750. Heritage Live. Fair warning. 5,500. Internet buyer. Lot 437.
3,600.
It's 3,600 asking for 38. 36 is the bid. Now go 38 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance. Bid 3,800 or use that cut here of 37. Heritage Live. Just a little bit more could put you at the top, but you have to press that bid button now. Fair warning. 3,600. Internet buyer. Lot 438.
1,350.
It's 1,350 asking for 14. 1,350 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live. Advance out of 1,400. It's 1,350 on the cut unless I see 14. Fair warning. 1,350. Internet buyer. Lot 439.
4,700.
4,700 asking for 48. It's 47 now. Go the 48 next. Heritage Live. We're on the cut. Let's advance to 4,800 or the cut will take it. Fair warning. There's 48
5,000.
and 5. Now bid 5,500. 5,000 is the bid. It's on the internet. Heritage Live. I need to hear from you to advance. Bid that 55. It's 5,000. It's 5,250 on the cut. There's 55. Now advance to 6,000. It's 5,500 asking for 6. Heritage Live, press that bid button and let's advance at 6,000 or that cut of 5,750. Fair warning here. 5,500. Internet buyer. Lot 440.
1,500.
It's 15 now. There's 16. Go 17 to advance. Bid 17. 1,600 is the bid. It's with Heritage Live at 17 now. Go 18 next. Let's advance here to 1,800. 17 is bid. There's 18. Now advance to 19. 19 we have. Let's go 2,000. It's 19 now. Bid 2. 2 is bid. Let's advance to 22. It's 22 now. Go 24. 2,200 is the bid. Advance out of 2,400. Heritage Live. Press that bid button. Go 2,400. It's 22 now. Bid the 24. There's 23 on the cut. Still asking for 24. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 2,400. 23 is the bid. It's on the cut. Heritage Live. Are you going to let them cut you out? Advance now to 2,400. Fair warning. 23 it is.
7307.
7307. All right. Here we have a 1939 10 pounds with EPQ status. You know it's challenging in EPQ. Here we have lot 441.
12,500.
It's 12,500 and 15,000. Now asking 16,000. 15,000 is the bid. Let's advance here to 16. 16 is bid with Heritage Live. There's 16,500 on the cut. Heritage Live, go 17,000. It's 16,500. It's a cut bid. Heritage Live.
17.
There's 17,000. Now go 18,000. 17,000 is the bid, asking for 18. You know what an incredible opportunity this is, Heritage Live. There's 18. Now advance to 19. 18 is the bid, asking for 19. Let's advance out of 19,000. 18,500 on the cut again. Heritage Live, bid 19,000. We're on that cut of 18,500. There's 19,000. The advance is 20,000. It's 19,000. There's 20,000. Now bid 22,000. 20,000 is the bid, asking for 22. Let's advance here to 22,000.
22.
There's 22,000. Now bid 24,000. 22,000 is the bid. It's with Heritage Live, asking for 24 from those other bidders out there. Don't know when you'll have another opportunity at this in the future. There's 24. Now go 26,000. 24,000 is the bid, asking 26. 26 we have. Now go 28,000. It's 26,000. It's with Heritage Live. There's 28,000. Now bid 30,000. 28,000 asking for 30. Bid 30,000 to advance. 28,000. Now go 30,000. Heritage Live. Bid 30,000 next. We'll use that cut here of 29. There's 30,000. Now bid 32,000.
32.
32. Go 34. It's 32,000. Now asking for 34,000. Advance now to 34,000. 32 is the bid. Let's go 34. Heritage Live, the cut here is 33,000. Any further advancements? Fair warning.
34.
34. Now asking 36,000. 34,000 is the bid. 36,000 is next. Let's advance here to 36,000. 34.
36.
There's 36. 38,000 is next, Heritage Live. Bid 38,000. It's 36,000. Now go 38. Come a long way, Heritage Live. Advance out of 38,000 or use your cut here of 37. But Heritage Live, fair warning.
38.
There's 38,000. Now bid 40,000. 38,000 is the bid. Heritage Live. Let's advance now to 40,000. Advance to 40,000. Heritage Live, this is your chance. Bid 40,000 or the cut of 39. Fair warning. 38,000.
7152.
7152. Congratulations, Heritage Live. Now we're moving in to Panama with lot 442.
2,300.
It's 2,300 asking for 24, Heritage Live. We've opened up on the cut. Advance out at 24 or the cut it is. Fair warning. 2,300. Internet buyer. Lot 443.
1650.
It's 1650 asking for 17. Another one opening up on the cut. There's 17 and 18 now asking 19 to advance. Bid 1900. It's 1850 on the cut. There's 19 now. Go 2000. It's 19 now. Bid 2000. Heritage Live. Let's advance. Go 2000. 19 is the bid. It's on the internet. I need to hear from you. Let's advance. 2000 or that cut of 1950. Fair warning. 1900. Internet buyer. Moving on to Paraguay with lot 444.
1050.
It's 1050, asking for 11. Heritage Live, we're on the cut. Advance now to 1100. It's 1050 on the cut, unless I see 11. Fair warning. 1050. Internet buyer. Now on to Peru with lot 445.
500.
500 is the bid. There's
Prior.
550. That's a prior Heritage Live. Come back at 600. It's 550, but it's not with you. 600 is. Let's go 650. It's 6 now. Bid 650 next. Let's advance here to 650. It's with Heritage Live. There's 650 now. Go 7. It's 650 asking for 7. 7 we have now. Bid 750. 7 now. There's 725 on the cut. Heritage Live still asking for 750. Let's advance here to 750. 725 is a cut bid. There's 750. Now advanced 800. 750 is the bid asking for 8. Heritage Live, press that bid button and let's advance at 800. The cut here is 775. Fair warning. 750. 7308. Lot 446, we're in the Philippines now.
775.
775 asking for 800. Heritage Live, let's advance here at 800. We've opened up on the cut. Bid the 8 or the cut takes it. Fair warning. That's 775. It's not. It's 800. There's 850. Heritage Live. 900 and 950. Now go 1,000. It's 11 now. Bid 12. 13 is bid. Let's go 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 is with you, Heritage Live. Asking for 19. Yes. You're doing the work for me. 1800 is the bid. Let's advance on a 19. The cut here would be 1850. Heritage Live. Fair warning. That's 1800. 7309. Lot 447.
1850.
1850. There's 28. Now bid 3000. It's 2800. It's with a Heritage Live asking for 3. Now bid 3000. Let's advance here. Heritage Live to 3000 or use that cut here of 29. But Heritage Live, press that bid button. Fair warning. 2800. Yes, we have that cut and 3000. Now bid 32. It's 3000 is with Heritage Live asking for 32. Let's advance to 3200. It's 3000 now. Go 32 or try your cut here of 31. Heritage Live, fair warning. 3000. 7310. Now moving on to Portugal with lot 448.
801.
801 asking 850. Heritage Live, let's advance here to 850. It's 801 now. Bid the 850 or use your cut of 825. Heritage Live, fair warning. 801. Internet buyer. Lot 449.
2500.
It's 28 now. Bid 3000. 28 is the bid asking for 3. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid that 3000 next. It's 28 now. Go 3. 28 is the bid asking 3000 or that cut of 29. Heritage Live, fair warning. 2800. 7311. Lot 450.
1000.
1000 now asking 11. It's 1000 now, but 1100 next. Heritage Live, let's advance at 11. The cut here would be 1050. Fair warning. 1000. Internet buyer. Lot 451.
1700.
1700 now asking 18. Heritage Live, let's advance. There's 1800 and 19 too. Let's advance out to 2000. It's 1900. It's against you.
22.
There's 22 now, bid 24. It's 2200. It's on the internet. Heritage Live, come back in at 2400 to advance. 22 is the bid. Let's go 24. There's 23 on the cut and 24. Now bid 26. Heritage Live, let's advance here to 2600. It's 2400. It's on the internet. Bid that 2600 to advance or try that cut here of 25. But Heritage Live, fair warning. 2400. Internet buyer. Lot 452.
675.
It's 850 now, asking for 9. 850 is the bid. 900 is next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid that 900. 9 is bid. It's with Heritage Live, and there's 950. Go 1,000. 950 asking for 1,000. Let's advance here. There's 1,011. Now bid 12. It's 1,100 asking for 12 to advance. Next Heritage Live, bid that 1,200. It's 11 and 12. Now advance to 13. 12 is bid. Let's go with 13. Heritage Live, 13. Now bid 14. It's 13 asking 14 next. Advance to 1,400. 13 is the bid. Let's go 14 or try your cut here of 1,350. Fair warning, Heritage Live. 1,300. 7,312. Now we're on to Portuguese India with lot 453.
1450.
1450 asking 15. We've opened up on the cut. Heritage Live, you know what to do. Bid that 1,500 or the cut takes it. Fair warning. 1450. Internet buyer. Now on to Puerto Rico with lot 454.
600.
It's 750 now, bid 800. It's 750 now, go the 800 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid 800. 750 now, go 8. Bid 800 next. We'll try that cut here of 775, but Heritage Live, there's 775 on the cut and 8. Now bid 850. It's 800 now, go the 850 next. Let's advance here to 850. It's 8 now, bid the 850. 8, go 850, or try your cut here of 825. Heritage Live, bid it now. Fair warning. 800. 7313. Lot 455.
3200.
32, now bid 34. It's 3200 asking for 3400 and we have 33 on the cut. It's 3335 against you, Heritage Live. Come back at 3400. 33, 35, and 34 is the bid. Let's advance out at 3600. It's 3400. It's with a Heritage Live bidder asking for 36 to advance. I know there are other bidders out there. Press that bid button. Show me 36 or try that cut here of 35. Fair warning. 3,400. 7314. Now we're on to Qatar and Dubai with lot 456.
4100.
It's 41, opening up on the cut. There's 42 and 44. Now advance to 46. 44 and 46. Now go 48. 4,800 is the advance now. Heritage Live, bid that 48. It's 46 now. Go 48. The cut here would be 4,700. Heritage Live, any further advancements? Fair warning. 4,600. 7315. Now we're on to Reunion with lot 457.
2100.
It's 21. There's 24 now, bid the 26. 2,400 asking for 26 next. Heritage Live, let's advance here to 2,600. It's 24. Go 26. Or maybe try your cut here of 25. There's 25 on the cut and 26. Let's go 28 to advance now. Bid 2,800. 28 we have. There's 3,000. Now advance to 32. It's 3 now, bid 32 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 3,200. 3,200 is the bid. Now say 34. It's 32 now. Go 34 next. Heritage Live. Press that bid button again. Let's go 3,400. Use your cut here of 33. But Heritage Live, bid it now. Fair warning. 3,200. 7148. Lot 458.
950.
950 asking for 1,000. It's 1050 on the cut. There's 11 now, bid 12. It's 1,100 asking for 12 to advance. Heritage Live, bid that 1,200 next. It's 1,100 and it's on the internet. I need to hear from you. Let's advance now. Go 1,200 or that cut of 1150. Fair warning. There's 1150 on the cut. It's 1166 against you, Heritage Live. Come back at 1,200. 1166 is the bid. Go 12. Let's advance here to 1,200, where this off increment bid will take it. Fair warning. There's 1,200. It's with Heritage Live asking 13 next. Let's advance here to 1,300. It's 12 now. Bid 13. 12 is the bid. Let's go 13. Heritage Live, advance to 1,300 or that cut of 1,250. There's the cut. Still asking 13. Let's advance here to 1,300. It's 1,250 now. Bid the 13 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Press that bid button. Show me 1,300. For fair warning. 1,250. 7166. Lot 459.
400.
It's 400 now. Bid 420. 400 now. Go 420 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 420. The cut would be 410. Fair warning. 400. Internet buyer. On to Rhodesia with lot 460.
1250.
1250 asking for 13. It's 12 now, bid 13 next. Heritage Live, let's advance to 1300. It's 1250 on the cut. Bid 1300, fair warning. The cut it is, 1250. Internet buyer, lot 461.
Need 1,000.
Let's get this started with your bid of 1,000. Heritage Live, open it up. There's 1,000, now go 11. 11 is the bid, now say 12. It's 1,100, it's with Heritage Live asking for 12, and we have it now, bid 13. It's 12 now, go 13. Next 13 is bid, now go 14. 14, asking 15. It's 14 now, bid the 15. Heritage Live, let's advance at 1,500. 14 is the bid. There's 15 now. Let's go 16. 16, bid 17. 16 asking 17, and 17 is the bid. Go 18 next. 18 we have now, bid 19. 1,819 is bid. Let's go 2. 2,000 now, bid 22. This is not known in issued format. Heritage Live, bid 2,200. It's 2. This is as good as it gets. As you know, Heritage Live, let's advance to 2,200. It's 2,000 now, bid 22, or use that cut here of 21. Heritage Live, fair warning. 2,000. 7316. Lot 462.
1,800.
It's 1,800 now, bid 19. 19 and 2, now bid 22. It's 2,000, it's 22.
24.
There's 24 now, go 26. 24 asking 26. 26 is the bid. It's with Heritage Live now asking 28 from those other bidders out there. Let's advance. Go 2,800. It's very rare in issued format. Incredibly rare. Heritage Live. Take advantage of this opportunity. Let's advance to 2,800. It's 2,600 asking 28 or that cut of 27. Heritage Live, fair warning. 2,600. 7316. Lot 463.
1,550.
1550 opening up on the cut. There's 16 and 1666 is against you, Heritage Live. Bid 17. It's 1,700 now, go 18. 1,700 is the bid asking for 18 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid that 1,800. Press that bid button now. Go 1,800. Now advance to 19. 1,800 is the bid. There's 19 now, go 2,000. It's 19. There's 1,950 on the cut. Still asking for 2, and we have it. Now let's advance now to 2,200. It's 2 now, bid 22. Heritage Live, press that bid button, show me 2,200. 2,000 is the bid. Let's go 22 or that cut of 21. We have 22 now, bid 24. It's 24 now, go 26. 24 is the bid, asking 26. Heritage Live, let's advance, bid that 2,600. 24 is the bid, now go 26. Advance to 2,600 or that cut of 25. Fair warning here. Yes, we have 26. Asking 2,800 to advance. Bid 28. It's 26 now, go 28. 26 is the bid. Advance to 2,800 or try that cut here of 27. Fair warning. 2,600. 7317. Now on to Rhodesia and Nyasaland
25.
with lot 464. We have 625 now, bid 650. 625 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, let's advance out of 650. Fair warning. That's 625. It's not. It's 650. There's 700 now, go 750. 700 is the bid. Heritage Live, it's against you. Come back in. Let's go 750. It's 700 now. Bid the 750. Fair warning. 700. Internet buyer. Lot 465.
525.
525 opening up on the cut. Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid 550. It's 525. Bid the 550 next. Press that bid button. Go 550. There's 550 and 6. Now bid 650. It's 600 now, asking for the 650. Heritage Live, let's advance. Go 650. Or try that cut here of 625. Heritage Live, press that bid button. Fair warning. 600. Internet buyer. Lot 466.
800.
800 is the bid, asking for 850. It's 8 now. 850 is next. Heritage Live, let's advance. There's 850
Nine.
and 900 now, bid 950. It's 950. There's 1,000. Go 11. 1,000 is the bid. It's 1050 on the cut. It's with Heritage Live asking for 11. Let's advance to 1,100. 1050 is the bid on the cut. The advance is 1,100. Bid 11 next, or the cut takes it. Fair warning. The cut it is 1050. What was it, Kate? 7106. Lot 467. That's okay.
1,600.
It's 1600 now, and 19 is bid. It's with Heritage Live asking for 2000. Let's advance here to 2000. 19 is bid. Go 2000. Heritage Live, press that bid button. Show me 2000. 2000 is bid. There's 22. Now advance to 24. It's 22 now. Bid 24 next. Heritage Live. Advance again. Go 2400. 24. Now bid 26. It's 24 asking for 26. Heritage Live. Advance here to 2600. 24 is the bid. Go 26 or use that cut of 25. Heritage Live, fair warning. 2400. 7318. All right, now we're in Russia with lot 468.
21,000.
21,000 asking 22. This is an elusive and interesting Russian-American 10 Kopecks. It's made from walrus skin. So there can't be a ton of these out there, right, Craig? 21,000 is the bid. We're on the cut. Heritage Live, advance now to 22,000. Fair warning. 21,000. Internet buyer on the cut. Congratulations to you. Now we're on to Rwanda, Burundi with lot 469.
500.
It's 525 and 550 now. Bid 600. 550 is the bid. Let's advance here to 6. 6 we have, and there's 650. Now advance to 700. It's 650 now. Bid the 7 next. Press that bid button, Heritage Live, and let's advance at 700. 650 is the bid. Go 7. It's 650 now. Say 700 or use that cut of 675. Fair warning here. There's 700 and 750. Come back with 800. It's 750. It's on the internet. Heritage Live. I need to hear from you. Let's advance now to 800. 750 now. Bid the 8. The cut here is 775. Fair warning. 750. Internet buyer. Lot 470. We're in St. Pierre and Miquelon.
950.
It's 950 and 1,000 now. Bid 11. 1,000 asking for 11 here. Heritage Live. Let's advance now to 1,100. It's 1,000 now. Bid the 11 or try that cut of 1050. Heritage Live. Fair warning. 1,000. 7319. Lot 471.
410.
410 asking 420. It's 410. We've opened up on the cut. Heritage Live. Let's advance now to 420. It's 410 now. Bid the 420. Fair warning. That's 410. Internet buyer. Lot 472.
825.
825 opening up on the cut again. Heritage Live. Bid that 850. It's 825 now. Go 850 next. Let's advance. There's 850 and 9. Now bid 950. It's 900 now. Go 950 next. Heritage Live. Press that bid button and show me 950. 9 is bid. Go 950. There's 950 and 1,000 asking for 11 next. Heritage Live. Press that bid button. Go 1,100. It's 1,000 now. Go 11. 1,000 is the bid. Let's advance now to 1,100 or use that cut here of 1050. 1050 on the cut. It's with Heritage Live. Still asking for 11. Let's advance here to 1,100. It's 1050 now. Bid the 11. 11 is bid. Now go 12. It's 1,100. It's with Heritage Live asking for 12 from those other bidders out there. Let's advance to 1,200 next or use that cut here of 1,150. Heritage Live. Let's advance now. Fair warning. 1,100. 7152. Lot 473.
525.
525. There's 650 now. Go 7. It's 650 asking for 700 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance. Bid the 7. 650 is the bid. Go 7. Or try that cut here of 675. Heritage Live. Bid it now. Fair warning. 650. 7320. Lot 474.
4266.
It's 4266. Heritage Live. Come in at 4,400, or maybe now is a chance to try that cut at 43. Heritage Live. It's 4266. There's 44. Now bid 4600. It's 44 asking 46 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 4600. 44 is the bid. It advanced now. Let's go 4600 or that cut of 45. Fair warning. 4,400. 7152. Now we're on to Saudi Arabia with lot 475.
2400.
2,400 is the bid asking for 26. Heritage Live. Let's advance here. Bid 2,600. Advance to 2,600 or the cut of 25. Fair warning. 2,400. Internet buyer. Lot 476.
16,500.
It's 16,500 asking for 17,000 for this high grade 50 reals from Saudi Arabia. And a 64 EPQ Heritage Live. Let's go 17,000. It's 16.5 on the cut unless I see 17. Fair warning. That's 16,500. Internet buyer. Moving on to Seychelles with lot 477. 525 and 550 and 600 now bid 650. It's 600. It's with Heritage Live. There's 650 and 675. Let's advance now to 7. 7 is bid and 750 now. Go 800. 8 is bid now. Say 850. It's 8 now. Go 850 next. Heritage Live. 850 is bid now. Go 9. It's 850 asking for 9. 9 we have now. Bid 950. It's 9 now. Go 950 next. Heritage Live. Advance here to 950. 925 on the cut, still asking for 950. 950 we have, now bid 1,000. 950 asking for 1,000. Heritage Live, press that bid button and let's advance. Go 1,000 next. Yes, now bid 11. It's 1,000 now, go 11. 11 is bid, let's go 12. 1,100 asking for 12 to advance here. Heritage Live, press that bid button. Go 1,200. It's 11 now, bid 12. The cut here would be 1150. 12 we have, now bid 13. 13, go 1,400. It's 13 now, bid the 14 next. Heritage Live, keep advancing. Bid 1,400. It's 13, bid the 14. The cut here is 1,350. We have 14 now, bid 15. 15, go 1,600. 1,500 asking for 16. Heritage Live, show me 1,600 and let's advance. It's 15 now, bid the 16. Advance to 1,600 or that cut of 1,550. Fair warning. 1,500. 7,321. Lot 478.
25.
It's 825 now, but 850. 825 asking for 850 next. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 850. It's 825 on the cut unless I see 850. Fair warning. The cut it is. No, it's not. We have 850 and 900 is against you. Heritage Live, come back in. Let's go 950. It's 900 asking 950 next. Heritage Live, bid 950. Or try that cutting of 925, but press that bid button. Fair warning. 900. Internet buyer. Lot 479. 2,800 is the bid asking for 3,000. Heritage Live, let's advance. Press that bid button, go 3,000. It's 2,800 now, bid 3. Or try that cut here of 29. Heritage Live, fair warning. 2,800. There's 3,000. Now go 32. It's 3,000 now, bid 32 next. 32 we have on the book. Heritage Live. Come back at 34. It's 32 and it's against you. Let's advance. There's 34. It's with Heritage Live now. Go 3,600. 3,400 is the bid. It's with Heritage Live asking for 36. It's 34 now. Bid the 36 or use that cut here of 35. Heritage Live. Fair warning. 3,400. 7157. Lot 480. 23. There's 24. It's 2512 against you, Heritage Live. Let's go 2,600. It's 2,600. It's with Heritage Live asking for 28. Advance out of 2,800. 27 is the bid. 28 is the advance. Heritage Live. We're on the cut. There's 2,800. Now go 3,000. It's 2,800 asking for 3. Heritage Live. Press that bid button and let's advance at 3,000 next. 2,800, go 3. Bid 3,000 or try that cut here of 29. Heritage Live, fair warning. 2,800. 7133. Now we're in Singapore with lot 41. It's 1,500 now, bid 16. It's 15 now, bid 16 next. Heritage Live, let's advance. Go 1,600 or the cut of 1,550. Fair warning. 1,500. Internet buyer. Lot 482.
1,000.
It's 850. There's 1,000 now, but 11. It's 1,000. It's with Heritage Live asking for 11, and we have the cut. Still asking for 11. Heritage Live. Let's advance here to 1,100. It's 1050 now, bid the 11. Advance to 1,100, or the cut takes it here. Fair warning. 1050.
7322.
7322. Lot 483. 7250 opening up on the cut. There's 75 now. Go 8,000 next for the highest denomination in excellent grade. Heritage Live, Craig touched on this yesterday. This is the highest denomination in the world in a 66 EPQ. Heritage Live, let's go 8,000. It's 7,500 now, but 8,000 next. Or try that cut here of 7,750. But Heritage Live, press that bid button. Fair warning. 7,500.
7108.
7108. And my last lot with you all for this sale is lot 484. We're in Somalia.
1,000.
It's 1,000 and 1,005 against you, Heritage Live. Come back in at 1,100. It's 1,005 on the internet. Advance out to 11 or try your cut here of 1050. Fair warning. And that's 1,005 to an internet buyer. Well, with that, thank you all so much for having me. Congratulations to all the winning bidders. Craig will take you through the rest of the sale.
Well, thank you, Emily. I think one of my favorite things in the US is mole. Isn't it just amazing? No? Nobody in agreement? Anyway, all right. We're going to continue the sale with South Africa, starting off with a very, very scarce example from the 1921 initial release or issuances by the Reserve Bank. At its inception, 1921. This one's dated 1922, though. Very, very rare, and they never look as nice as this one. What do we got?
1,001.
I have 1,001 now, 1050 now. What about 1111? I got now. What about 12? 12. I have 1100. I need 1200 to advance. Don't forget about your cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. In this instance, it'll be 1150. The scarce 10 shilling, 10 bob from the inception of the Reserve Bank is at 1100. Do I see 12? I'm going to say fair warning. At 1100. I'll make it 1100. 7323. All right, £1 South African Treasury for the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek, an AU55, lot of 486. 1050 I have now, 11 now. What about 12? 12 I have now, 13. 13 to advance here. Large size, pretty unusual example. I've got 1250 now. What about 1300? 13 I have now, 14. 14 to advance here. AU55, good as it gets. I have 1,300. Do I see 1,400? I'm going to say fair warning. Then I have 14. I have now 15. 15. Issued in 1872. Quick math, that's 150 years ago, isn't it, Devin? And it looks like it was printed yesterday. I got 14. Do I see 15? I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,400. I'll make that 1,400.
7324.
7324. Say again? Oh, give or take. I mean, we're not great at math, are we? All right, so lot 487 is featuring one Paul Kruger. These are just very infinitely popular, and they don't come around very often. What do we have? 750, I have now 8 now. What about 850? 850 to advance here. 825 I have now. What about 850 now? 900. Stamped on the back for Lichtenberg, where De La Rey is from. I've got 900. Do I see 950? 950 to advance. 950 I have. What about 1,000? 1,000. My Heritage Live bidder has it at 950. Do I see 1,000? Otherwise, I will say fair warning at 950. I'll make it 950.
7112.
7112. All right, over to the Pietersburg Nota. Excuse me. These were they were made from exam pads because obviously during the Boer War, sieges going on all the time everywhere. Supplies were few and far between, and at this point, the British had chased or at least moved the Boers along over to now called Limpopo, hence Petersburg, and I think Petersburg is now known Polokwane, so that's about a bit of a name change. And out of necessity, they created these notes from exam paper. or exam, or what would be the word? Notebook paper, and hence why they look so rudimentary. Quite rare, and lot 488. 420 I have now, 440 now, what about 460? I have 460 now, what about 480? 480 to, I've got 500 now, what about 550? 550 to advance on this one. I have 556 now, 600, what about 650? 650, this is going to be the £10, I've got 7 now, what about 750? 750, I've got now, what, 800, 850? 850 now, 900. 900 to advance here. My Heritage Live bidder has it at 850, do I see an advance at 900? I'm going to say fair warning then. At 850, I'll make it 850.
7316.
7316. Over to the £20 from this series, lot 489. 650 I have now, 750 now. What about 800 is what I need to, I've got 800 now. What about 850? I've got a prior of 800. Do I see 850? 850, that clears the book now. Do I see 900? 900 to advance, yeah. The 20 is actually a denomination that's quite hard compared to some of the other ones. They're all tough, but the 20 is noticeably tougher. I have 850, do I see 900? Last call then at 850. I'll make it 850.
7316.
7316. All right, over to the £50, lot 490. 825 I have now, 899.50 now. What about 1,000? I have 950 looking for 1,000 to advance here. £50 would have represented an insane amount of money at the time. I have 1,100 now. What about 1,200? The highest denomination was the 100, and very few were made for either or. I know that the British didn't want to honour the promise to pay the bearer after the loss, or so-called loss, of the Boer War. It's at 1,200. Do I see 1,300? 1,300 to advance here. Last call, then at 1,200, and we'll make it 1,200. Internet. Like 491, this is the £100, AU53, I mean, quite remarkable. Grade on this piece, only 200 were printed, and I know a few remainders exist. I mean, the amount of money it would have represented, it's just not the sort of denomination the average man would have carried around with him. The £1 and the £5 more so, maybe the £10, but the £100, no. 200 were printed. One could argue, how many of them could exist today? Lot 491.
1450.
I got 1450 now, 50 now, 1600. I've got 1600. Do I see 17 now? I've got 17 now, 18 now. What about 19? I have 1800 now, 2000, 2000. Do I see 22? My book bidder has it at 2000. I need 22 advance. Heritage Live. £100 here. Petersburg issue of Gouvernementsnote. I've got 2250 on the cut now. Do I see 24? 24 to advance. I have the 24 now. What about that? Clears the book now. What about 2600? 2600 to advance here. Cut bid at 25. I will say fair warning then. At 2400, I'll make it 2400. 7321, you said, Emily?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, the £5 from the 1921 issue, fondly named the Pilkington design, the mirror image on both sides, English on the one, Dutch on the other. Lovely type. You've got the dromedaris to the left, and then you've got Table Mountain in the background. What do we have? Okay. I've got 550 now, 600. What about 650? I have now 700. I've got 675 now at 700. I need 750 to advance. Heritage Live. My book bidder is at 7 now, 750 now, 800 now. What about 850? 850 for this pretty type. Jan van Riebeeck as the watermark. This was before they put Jan van Riebeeck on the actual notes themselves. I've got 900 now. What about 950? My book bidder is at 900. Do I see 950? Otherwise, I will call fair warning then at 900. I'll make it 900. To the internet. All right, lot 493. This is the £5 from 1926. This is, in fact, the first time for the £1 and the £5 they used Jan van Riebeeck on the back of the notes. Later on, he was put on the front. Lot 493. 525 I have now, 550 now, 577, 577. I need 600. These notes are always tattered, torn, rust, Annotations, this is a pretty example. VF, mid-range 25. I got 625. Do I see 650? This is a very nice example. I got 650 now. What about 700? 700 I have now, 750. A very, very tough type. And even in South Africa, it's rare and missing from most collections. I have 700 now, 700 now, 725. I need 750. I have the 750 now. What about 800? 800 to advance here. As I said, these never look like this. They're always tattered. This is a very, very decent example. 850 now. What about 900? 900. It also bears the Clegg signature before they went over to Posthumous. I have 850 now. Do I see 9? 9 I have now, 950. 950, the coveted Clegg signature. I've got 950 now. What about 1,000? Worth every penny, in my opinion. I've got 950 now. Do I see 1,000? I do have 1,000 now, 1,100. 11 to advance. I do have 11 now at 1,200. 1,200 to advance here. Or cut bid at 1,150. Don't forget about your cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. It's at 1,100. I'm going to call fair warning unless I see an advance at 12. Last call. I'll make it 1,100.
7324.
7324. All right, over to lot 494, the £20. Posthumous signed. Beautiful blues are seen on this one. What we got? 575 now, 6 now. What about 650? 650 to. I've got 625 on the cut, looking for 650. Again, a very nice mid-range grade, but they don't often look as nice as this. Also, annotations, tears, rust. I got 700 now. What about 750? Represented a huge sum of money at the time. I got 750 now. What about 800? Cut bid at 775. I'm going to say fair warning. Then it's 750 for this pretty bright example in a very fine 30. I have 800 now. What about 850? 850. Last call then at 800. 825 on the cut. Still looking for 850. 850. What a pretty note. Last call in at 825. I'll make it 825. 7, 2, 4, and 7. All right, lot 495. We've got both language variants for the £100, 1952. Really rather stunning. It's by far my favorite note of all times. Talk about a lot of money. This was an insane amount of money. What do we got? 1320 I have now, 1350. Now, what about 1400? 1400, large size note. And in fact, Jan van Riebeeck on the face isn't the real Jan van Riebeeck. The Rijksmuseum got it wrong. I have 1400 looking for 1500. I got 50 now. What about 16? 1600 to advance here. Or did the Afrikaans government get it wrong? We never know. They wouldn't admit it, though. I said 1550 on the cut now, 1660 now. What about 1700? 1700 to advance. For South Africans, this is Jan van Riebeeck, though. In actual fact, it's some random merchant. And the real Jan van Riebeeck doesn't look anything like this. I've got 17 now. What about 18? 1800 now to advance here. My bid is at 1750 on the cut. Do I see 18? I'm going to say fair warning at 1750. 1750.
7247.
7247. All right, so this is a cancelled example in a 55 PPQ holder. I mean, it's an immaculate grade for it. What do we got? 925 I have now. What about, I've got a 1,000. What about 1,100? 1,100 I've got now. I have 1,100 now. What about 12? 12 to advance here. I do have the 12 now. What about 1,300? 1,300 to advance. My Heritage Life Better has it at 13 now. What about 14? 1,400. 14 I have now. What about 15? 1,500. Really nice example of this. I've got 15 now. What about 1,600? I have 1550 on the cut. Still looking for the 16. 16 I have now. What about 1,700? 1,700 to advance. I do have the 17 now. What about 1,800? 18. I've got 19. I keep asking, Emily, you keep giving. I have 18 now. What about 1,900? 1,900 to advance. Last call, then at 1,800. I'll make it 1,800. I have 19 now. What about 2,000? 2,000. I do have the 2 now. 2,200 to advance. For this 55 PPQ graded example, I have 2,000. Do I see 2,200 or cut it 2,100? Last call, then at 2,000. I'll make it 2,000.
7325.
7, 3, 2, and 5. All right, this is the Afrikaans predominant variant, pick 100A, pick 101A, yep. Lot 497, what we got? 15, 50, 16, now what about 1700? VF35, really nice grade on this one, 16, now 17, now what about 1800? 18 to advance. 18 I have now, what about 19? 19, don't forget about those cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. I have 18 now, what about 19? 19 to, I've got the 19 now, what about 2000? 2000 to advance here. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1900, unless I see an advance at 2000, I'll make it 1900. 7, 3, 2, and 6. All right, over to the two Skillings remainder, lot 498. I have 400 now, what about 420? AU50 is on this one. I have not seen issued examples for this, so this is probably as good as it's going to get in terms of adding it to your collection. I've got 420 now, what about 440? 440, I've got 440 now, 460, what about 480? 480, I have now 500, I've got 500 now, 550. 550, I have now, what about 600? I have the 600 now, 650. I have the 650 now, what about 700? 700, I have now, what about 750? 750 to advance. My book bidder has it at 700. Do I see an advance at 750? Here it is live. I do now. I have 800 now. What about 850? 850 to advance. Otherwise, there we go. That clears the book at 850. Now, 900. 900 to advance. Two Skillings, AU 50. Do I see an advance at 900? I do. 900 now. And what about 950? 950. I have 950 now. 1000. Printed in the 1830s. Lord. What's the math on that, Devon? 170 years? I have 950 now. What about, I have 975 on the cut now, 1,000. 1,000. I'm going to say fair warning then at 975 on the cut. I'll make it 975. 7318. All right. Cape of Good Hope Bank, lot 499, £5. Has all kinds of really cool, interesting cross-outs, overstamps. It says, I think it says Klerksdorp for PMG notes Klerksdorp, but there's a lot going on in terms of where it was issued. And Klerksdorp is the world's largest producer of platinum, but it wasn't at the time. There was nothing there. So how a bank at Cape of Good Hope was circulating around in the Northwest Province, I don't know. What do we got? I need 1,000 to start me off on this interesting type. 1,000. 1,000. Cape of Good Hope, Clash of £5. Do I see 1,000? I do have 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 1,100 to advance. Don't let the fine 12 fool you. These notes are not around. I have 11 now. What about 1,200? 1,200 to advance. I got 1,150 on the cut. Still looking for 12. 12. Beautiful vignette to the left. I have 12 now. What about 13? 13 to advance. 13. I do have 13 now. What about 14? 14. It looks like it was Craddock first, and it was crossed out. Yes, Craddock, which is the Eastern Cape. I've got 13 now. Do I see 1,400? 1,400 to advance. Last call at 1,300 for this pretty example. Make it 1,300. 7, 3, 2, and 4. All right, over to Colesberg. Lot 500. 775 I have now. I have 1,100 now. What about 12? 1,200 to advance here. I have 1,100 with Heritage Life. I need 1,200 to advance for the scarce type. It was £4. And my understanding is because the Cape government wouldn't let you issue £1 notes or £5 notes. There was some regulation about that. Is 1,200? Do I see 1,300? 13 now. What about 14? 14 now. What about 1,500? 1,500. Colesberg was founded on a London missionary station, and it's now at 16 now. Do I see 1,700? 1,700 for this odd denomination of £4. Issued in 1862. Devon, are we going to do the math on that one? No, we're not. I've got 17 now. 18 now. What about 19? 1,900 for the scarce example. Again, do not let the grade of 15 fool you. These are rare. They are not around. It's museum quality. I've got 1,800. Do I see 19? 19 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,800, unless I see an advance at 2,000. Last call. And we'll make it 1,800. 7, 2, 5, and 3. All right, over to Somerset East, lot 405, 401, 501. 750 I have, looking for 800. 800 to advance. 800 I have now, what about 850? 825 on the cut, looking for 850. This is a remainder, again, £4. I have 850 now, what about 900? Somerset East is the, I suppose, opposite to Somerset West, which is closer to Cape Town. I got 900, 950, what about 1,000? 1,000 I have now, what about 1,100? 1,100 to advance. 11 I've got now, 12. 12 to advance. 12 I have, 13. 1,300. I do have 13 now, what about 14? Graded a choice very fine, 35. I have 14 now, what about 15? 15 I have now, what about 1,600? 1,600 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,500 for this this £4 remainder from the Somerset East Bank. I've got 15, 15 now, 16 now, I need 17. 17 to advance. Quite a popular bank. I have 17 now, what about 1,800? I'm going to say fair warning, I've got 18 now, what about 19? 19 to advance. I do have the 19 now, 2,000. 2,000. It'd be a shame to be knocked out at this point in the game. There we go at 2 now, 22. 22. My Heritage Life Better as a 2,000. Do I see an advance at 2,200? Last call then at 2,000. I'll make it 2,000. 7, 2, 5, and 3. All right, this is an issued example of Somerset East Bank, £10. Lot 502. 750 I have now, what about 800? 800, large denomination too. This represents quite a bit of money. I've got 750, do I see 800? 800 I have now, what about 850? 850 now, 900. 900 to advance. Hey, Paul. £10 from Somerset East Bank. I've got 875 on the cut, still looking for 900. 900 to advance. I do have the 900 now, 950. 950 I have, what about 1,000? 1,000. I do have 1,000 now, 1,100. £10. This was a huge amount of money at the time. This was issued in 1862. I've got 12 down, 1,300. What about 1,400? I have the 14 now. What about 1,500? 15 I have now. What about 16? 16 I've got now, 1,700. 17 I have now. What about 1,800? 18 I've got now, 19. 19 to advance on this rare example. I have 1,800. Do I see an advance at 1,900? My Heritage Life Better has it at 18. Do I see an advance at 1,900? Otherwise, use your cut bid. There you go at 19 now. What about 2,000? You're ashamed to be knocked out at this late in the game. Is at 19. Do I see 2,000? Otherwise, I'm going to say fair warning at 1,900. I'll make that 1,900. 7317. All right, over still at the this is over to the South African Bank, £20, which to my knowledge, I believe this was the largest denomination issued in the 19th century of all banks. So this was the largest denomination. 1881, lot 503. 775 I have now, 850 now, what about 900? 900 to advance. My book better has it at 950 now, what about 1,000? I have 1,000 now, 11 now, what about 12? 12 I have now, 13 now, what about 14? 14, 13, 14 now, what about 15? 15 now, 16. 16 I have now, what about 17? That clears the book at 1,600 for this £20 from the South African Bank. Utmost rarity, museum quality piece. I've got 1,700 now. What about 1,800? 1,800. 18 I have now, 19. 1,900 to advance. This is the second oldest banking institution in South Africa. I've got 19 now. What about 2,000? 2,000 I have now, 2,200. 2,200. My Heritage Life Better has it at day. We are at 22 now. What about 24? Don't forget about your cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at 2,200. Do I see 24? 24 now, 26. 2,600 to advance. I have 26 now, 28. 2,800 to advance. 28, I have 3,000. 3,000. By the way, this South African selection we have in this sale really is, it's stellar, and I think it's possibly the best we've had up to date. We've got 3,000 now. What about 3,200? 3,200. I have 32 now. What about 34? 34. 34 I have now, 36. South African, the South African Bank, £20 at 3,400. Do I see I have 36 now. What about 38? 38. I have 38 now. What about 4,000? 4,000 to advance here. highest denomination from the second oldest financial banking institution in the country. I have 38 now. What about 4,000? Otherwise, I will say, fair warning, I have 4,000. Now I need 4,200. 42 I have, now 44. 44. Most certainly become the cornerstone, or at least a huge talking point in even the most advanced collections. I have 42. Do I see 4,400? I will call fair warning then at 4,200 unless I see an advance at 44 or a cut bid at 43.
44.
I have 44 now. What about 46?
46.
46 I have now. 48. 48 to advance. Last call then at 4,600. We'll make it 4,600.
7253.
7253. What a cool note. Over to Swellendam, £5. 1860s remainder. Interesting designs. Lot 504.
750.
I have 750 now, looking for 800. I have 775, 800 now. What about 850 now? 999, 950. I do have 950, 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 11 now, 12. What about 1,300? 13, I have 14 now. What about 15? 15, I have a prior Heritage Live. You know exactly what that means. I have a prior 15, jump in at 1,600. I do have 16 now. What about 1,700? 1,700 to advance. I have 17 now. What about 18? 18 I have. What about 19? 19 to advance. I'm going to say fair warn. I do have the 19 now. What about 2,000? 2,000 I have now. 2,200. I have the 22. What about 24? 24 now. 26. 26 now. 28.
28.
28 I have. What about 3,000?
3000.
3,032. 32 now. 34. 34 now. What about 36?
36.
36 I have. What about 38?
38.
38 I have. What about 4,000?
4000.
4,200 now. My Heritage Live bidder has it at 4,000. Do I see 4,200 to advance?
41.
I have 41 on the cut. Now I'm still looking at that. That's 42 now. For what about 44? 44 to advance. I'm going to say I have 44. What about 46?
46.
46 I have now. 48. 4,800. I'm going to say fair warning then at 46, unless I see an advance at 4,800 for the Swellendam remainder, and we'll make it 4,600.
7253.
7, 2, 5, and 3. All right. Lot 505. This is the National Bank. What we got?
1000.
I have 1,000 now. Do I see 1,100? 1,100 to advance. Scarce in any grade. I have 1,000 looking for 1,100. 11 I've got now. 12 I have now. 12 I have. What about 13? 13 now. 13, 11. You know what that means, Heritage. I'm jumping at 1,400. 1,400 to advance. 14 I have. That clears the book. I've got 1,400. That means that the bid is with you, Heritage. I'm now 1,450. What about 1,500? 1,500 here. 15 I've got. What about 1,600? Issued in 1920, so it's just at the very end, before the Reserve Bank was created in 1921. My bid is at 1,500. Do I see 1,600 now? I'm going to say fair warning at 1,500. I'll make it for 1,500.
7318.
7318, you said, Emily?
Yes.
18. All right, so this is the £5 issued in Cape Town, the National Bank of South Africa. I've never seen this note in issued format. I've seen a couple of cancelled types, but this is a really cool piece. Lot 506. 1,500 I have now. 1666. Oh, what about that's Fire of London? 1666. Do I see 1,700? 17 I have now. What about 1,800? 1,800 to advance. Well, this truly, really, really nice piece for the National Bank of South Africa, issued also this was 1913, so during the Great War sort of period. A lot of money, £5 represented. 1990, 2000. I need 1950 on the cut. I need 2,000. I have 1950 on the cut, looking for 2,000 to advance. Yeah,
2000.
I have a 2,000 now. What about 2,200? 2,200. I have 22 now, 24. Remember your cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. Use them or lose them. I have 22 now. What about 24? 24, 23 I have now. Asking you shall receive. Emily, I've got 23 now. What about 24? 2,400 to advance. Otherwise, I'm going to say fair warning on the cut. Was this the cut of the day? Last call at 23 on the cut. We'll make it 2,300. 7318. All right, still in South Africa, a lot 507.
500.
I have a 500 now. What about 550? 550 to advance here. I have the 550 now, 6 now. What about 650? This is Standard Bank, 10 shillings. This is, the fine 12 is this is what they look like. I've got 650 now. What about 700? 700 to advance. Standard Bank pretty much took over most of the either failing or insolvent private banks. And that's why today Standard Bank is it is the most represented bank in all of Africa, I believe, with offices that go all the way, West Africa, Mauritius, and so on and so forth. The largest bank in Africa, I think, is ABSA, if I'm not mistaken. But Standard Bank is the most represented in terms of branches, etc. 750 I have now. What about 800? 800 to advance here. Otherwise, I'm going to say fair warning then at 750. I have 775 on the cut now. 77. Is it lucky 7? That is the question. I'm going to say no unless Heritage Live jumps in. There we go. I told you it's not the lucky number of the day. I've got 800 now. What about 850? 850 to advance. Last call at 800. I'll make it 800. 7317. All right, still for Standard Bank, issued in Durban, Natal, lot 508.
525.
525 on the cut, looking for 550. 550 to advance here. Popular type VF20 here, problem free for the most part. 600 now. What about 650? These also, I've seen a handful of these that are taped up and repaired, reattached, rust everywhere. This is a really nice example. At 600, I need 650 to advance. 625 now, 650. What about 700? 700. My book bidder has it at 650. Do I see an advance at 7? Last call then at 650. Oh, 7, there we go. At 7, that clears the book. That means Heritage Live has it at 7. Do I see 750? Fair warning, at 700. I'll make it 700.
7327.
7327. All right, still in with Standard Bank, £1. This is the Natal, the Durban issue, lot 509.
400.
400 I have, looking for 420. 420 to advance. Tough type for the issuance in Natal. I've seen some Johannesburg, in Cape Town you would see, but this is it's somewhat tougher at 440 now. What about 460? 460 I have now, 480. 480 I've got now. What about 500? 500 to advance.
500.
I have 500 now. What about 550? 550. 550 now, 600. 600 for this Durban issued £1 for Standard Bank from 1917. Last call in at 575 now, 600. 600. 6 I have now, 650. 650 to advance or cut at 625. Last call at 600. Make it 600.
7316.
7316. All right. Extraordinarily pretty example. £5 again. Natal, Standard Bank, Jan van Riebeek to the left, Britannia to the right, almost as if they're having a meeting of minds of sorts. Don't think they like each other, that's for sure. Lot 510.
550.
550 I have now, 800 now. What about 850? 850 is what I need to advance here. Issued in Durban. £5 represented an insane amount of money. I've got 800, 825 now. What about 850 now? What about 900? 9 I have now, 950, 950 now. What about 1,000? I have 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 11 now. What about 12? 1,200 to advance here. My Heritage Life bidder is at 1,100. Do I see 12?
1150.
I have 1,150 now on the cut. I'm still looking for 12. 12 I have now, 13. 13 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1200. I'll make it 1200.
7292.
7, 2, 9, and 2. All right, the Durban Bank, £25, lot 511.
500.
I have 500 now, what about 550?
550.
550 now, 600. 600 now, what about 650? 650 to advance. My book builder is at 600, do I see 650? 625 on the cut, 650 now, 7. Choice on circulation, 63, 711. I have 711 now, what about 750 now, what about 800? 800. I'm going to say fair warning then. 800 now. What about 850? 850. 850 I have. Now 900. 900. 875 on the cut. Still looking for 900 Heritage Live. 9 I have. Now what about 950? 950. Last call at 900. 950 now. What about 1,000? 1,000 I have. Now 1,100. 1,100 to advance. Fair warning at 1,000. I will make it 1,000.
7324.
7324. All right, the London and Natal Bank, 10 shillings, lot 512.
500.
I need 500. I have 500 now. What about 550? 550 to advance. My Heritage Live bidder has it at 500. Do I see 550 to advance?
525.
525 now. What about 550? 550. I'm going to say fair warning then at 525 on the cut. 550 now, 6. 600. 6 I have now, 650. 10 shillings. Intended for the 1860s remainder. XF40 I have 6 now. What about 650? 650. Last call at 600. I'll make it 600.
7324.
7, 3, 2, and 4. All right, lot 513. This is the Uppington Border Scouts cloth notes. During the Boer War, obviously, things were, or at least supplies were thin, and so people became resourceful. And what I love about these types is it just shows you the resourcefulness of man to continue bartering, because hey, that's what we do every day, all day. And this is a 10 shillings. It was made from shirts. They cut shirts and cut shirts into banknote-looking examples, and that was that. Lot 513. 650 I have now. 7. What about 750? 750 to advance now.
750.
I have 750 now. 800. 800 now. 850. 850.
850.
850 now. 900. 9 I have now. 950. 950 to advance.
950.
I have 950 now. 1,000. 1,000. I have 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 1,100. I've got 1050. 11 now. What about 12?
12.
12 I have. 13.
14.
1250 now. 13.
13.
13 I have now. 14. Cancelled by the postmaster. It's at 1,300. Do I see 1,400? Last call then at 1,300. I'll make that 1,300.
7298.
7298. All right. An odd example here, lot 514, Commercial and Agricultural Bank of Natal. Very little is known about this bank. What we got, John?
500.
I need 500 to start, 500, what, 550. 550 to advance. I have 550 now, 600. 600. 600 now, what about 650? 650. I have 650 now, what about 700? I do have the 7. What's about 750? 750. Pick unlisted. £1. I have 700. Do I see 750?
750.
I have the 750. Now 800.
8.
8 I have now 850.
850.
850 I have now 900. 900 to advance.
875.
875 on the cut. Still looking for 900. 900.
900.
I have the 900. What about 950? 950.
950.
950 now 1,000. 1,000.
1,000.
Natal was and still is rather important to the country of South Africa. Durban is, which I wasn't surprised, but I found out recently, is still the largest port city in all of Africa. It does a tremendous amount of business, and it supplies all the southern African countries, all SADC, which is the sort of up to the Congo, and even including some of Mozambique and so on forth. It supplies them of everything. I've got 1,400 now. What about 1,500? 1,500. So it's an important city. I've got 14 now. What about 1,500? I remember seeing the video of King Mswati. He ordered all his wives different colored Rolls Royces, and the trucks that were bringing them up to Swaziland were seen on the roads, and they were taking pictures of it, and it was a huge joke. Pink, yellow, and blue Rolls Royces. So even the King of Swaziland depends on Durban. I've got 16 now. What about 1,700? 1,700 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,600, unless I see 17 now. What about 1,800? 1,800. 18 I have now 19. 1,900. 19 now. What about 2,000? One would think that Maputo is closer, but no, Durban is it. It's 2,000 now. What about 22? 2,200 to advance. Up at 21. I'm going to say fair warning then at 2,000, unless I see an advance 22. Make it 2,000 then.
7,253.
7, 2, 5, and 3. All right, lot 515, which will conclude our South Africa. Lot 515.
460.
460 I have now. 455, 500 now. What about 550? Signed by Commander Money. How appropriate. 650 now. This would be the POW Greenpoint. The 5 shillings. I've got 700 now. Do I see 750? 750. I have now 750. What about 800? 800 to advance. 800 now. What about 850? 850 now. 900. 9 I have. What about a 950? 950 I have. What about 1,000? 1,000. 1,000 I have. Now 1,100. 11 I've got 12. 12 to advance. 1,200. Otherwise I will call fair warning then at 1,100. I'll make that 1,100. 7, 2, 5, and 3. All right, we've got some nice, as I mentioned earlier, we have some nice higher grade South Korean examples. Lot 516.
1050.
1050 I have 11 now. What about 1212? I have now 13. 65 EPQ is seen on this one. 1952. I've got 1200. Do I see 13? 1300. I will call fair warning. Then at 1200, make it 1200. The internet. Again, 65 EPQ on this one. Lot 517. I have 15 now. What about 1600? 1600 to advance. Last call at 1,500. Now make that 1,500. The internet. All right, popular type here, lot 518. 1450 now. What about 1,500? My book builder has it at 1450 on the cut. Do I see an advance at 15? I'm going to say fair warning at 1450. I'll make it 1450. The internet. Lot 519. 1450 now, 2,000, 2,200 now. What about 24? 2,400 looks like Sejong Dewang on the left there. AU 58. I've got 2,600 looking for 2,800. 2,800. My book builder has it at 2,600. Do I see 2,800? Last call at 2,600. I'll make it 2,600. The internet. All right, South Vietnam, lot 520.
1,100.
1,100 I have now. What about 12? High denomination, 65 EPQ specimen. I have 1,100. Do I see 1,200 to advance? Fair warning. I'll make it 1,100. Internet. Southern Rhodesia. All right, lot 521.
1050.
1050 I have, looking for 11. 1,100 to advance. AU 58. George VI. I've got 1050 now, 11. Last call at 1050. I'll make it 1050. The internet. All right, lot 522, 64 EPQ. Nice.
2,800.
28 we have now. What about 3,000? 3,000 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning at 2,800 for this really rather scarce example with EPQ and choice uncirculated grade of 64. Make it 2800. The internet. Lot 523.
750.
I need 750. I have 750 now. What about 800? 800 to advance here. I have 775 and now 800 now. What about 850? 850 to advance. AU 55. I 50 now. What about 900? I'm going to say fair warning then at 850. Make it 850.
I have 900.
900 I have now. What about 950? 950 to advance. Dated 1950. Just towards the very end of George VI reign. I have 900. Do I see 950? Last call at 900. Make it 900.
7247.
7, 2, 4, and 7. All right. Are you wanting to do the switcheroo? All right. 2 seconds. Okay. Lot 524. What do we got?
575.
575 I have now. 700 now. What about 750? My bid is at 700. Do I see 750? £5. BF 25. I have 700. Do I see an advance at 750? Last call in at 700. I'll make it 700. 7103. Issued £5 for Southern Rhodesia, Kiwi 2. Rather tough. And I think we've got two varieties. We've got 14A and 18A, and they both are quite difficult. Lot 525.
4300.
4,300 I have now, 44 I have a prior now, 4,600, about 4,800. I have 4,600 with my Heritage Light, but I need 4,800 to advance. Tough type this. I have 46, look at 48. Capped at 47 if that helps. Last call then at 4,600. I'll make it 4,600. 7, 3, 2, and 8. All right, lot 526. 3,600 now. What about 38? 64 EPQ. I've got 36, looking for 3,800. I will say fair warning then at 3,600. I'll make it 3,600. The internet. Another issued example. Lot 527.
1250.
1250 I have now. I have 13 now. What about 14? 14 now. What 15 now? What 1550? What about 1600? I have 1550 now. What about 16? 16 now. What about 17? 17 now. What about 1800? Remember to use your cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. I got 18 now. What about 1900? Perfectly presentable example. I have 1900 now. What about 2000? 2000. 1950 on the cut. Still looking for 2000. 2 I have now. What about 22? 2200. I got 22 now. 24. Cut bid at 23 if that helps. 23. Now I need 24. 24 I have now. What about 26? 2600. I'm going to say fair warning then at 2400 for this elusive type. I'll make it 2400. 7318 you said. Lot 528, just 2 countries down. Southwest Africa. What we got, John?
1000.
I have 1,000. Look, say 1,100 now. What about 12? I have 1,100 now. What do I see in advance of 1,200? This was issued by Barclays Bank. There were 3 banks. This is this was the English bank. It is a 45 XF45 with Q EPQ. That is, that is quite remarkable. The EPQ is a big deal. I've got 12 now. Do I see 1,300? 1,300 to advance. 13 I have now. What about 14? Scott says he's going to start collecting Southwest Africa. I got 1,400 now. Do I see 50? 1,500 to advance. I got 1,450 on the cut. Still looking for 1,500. 15 I have now. What about 16? Once again, XF45, highest denomination for Barclays Bank in Southwest Africa, this previous German colony, at 45 and a 45 EPQ holder at 1,500. Do I see 60? Last call in at 1,500. I'll make it 1,500. 7, 2, 5, and 3. All right, over to Spain, lot 529.
800.
800 I have now. What about 850? 850 to advance here.
850.
100 pesetas, 1884. I got 850 now. Do I see 900? And 900 to advance. Last call then at 850. I will say
875.
875 on the cut. Now 900. 9 I have now. What about 950? 950.
950.
I have the 950 now. What about 1,000?
1,000.
1,000 I have now. 1,100.
1,100.
11 I've got now. 12. 1,200. 12 I have. 13. 1,300.
13.
13 I have. What about 14? 1,400. 100 pesetas in a great eye appeal. Very fine 25 or 13 under. What about 1,400? Last call at 1,300. Make it 1,300.
7166.
7166. All right, front proof, lot 430 of a really of I think the largest or the second largest denomination. I've got 875 looking for 999 What about 1,000? I have 950 with my book bidder. I need 1,000 to advance here. A denomination issued in 1884, which is otherwise pretty unobtainable in issued format. Here's the front proof in a choice uncirculated 63 holder. I'm at 950. Do I see 1,000? I'm going to say fair warning then at 950. I'll make it 950. The internet. Lot 531. 975 on the cut, looking for 1,000. 1,000 to advance.
1,000.
I dare 1,000 now, 1,100. What about 12? 1,200. 12. I've got 13 now. 1,300 to advance. Last call then at 1,200. I'll make it 1,200.
7176.
7176. I lot 532, Switzerland. 33 I have now. What about 34? Large size type, highest denomination, 65 EPQ. Need I explain any more? Beautiful example as well. On the back, it's got Dancer Macabre, infinitely popular. 36, what about 38 now? 3,800 to advance. 37 on the cut, 38. And if you look at our catalog more closely, you'll see the back of this note is used, the vignette of the back of this note is used in the background of our catalog. It's 38 now. Do I see 4,000? 4,000.
4,000.
4,000 I have. What about 40, 42 now? What about 44? 44. Cut bid at 43. Fair warning at 4,200. We'll make it 4,200. The internet. Lot, over to Syria, lot 533. 525 I have now, 600. What about 650? Scarce type, I have 5. I've got 600 now, 650 now. That clears the book 7 now. What about 750? 750 to advance. I have 750 now. What about 800? 800 I have now, 850. 850. 850 I have 900. 900 now. What about 950? Pick 3 from 1919. I have 950 now. What about 1,000? 1,000. I do have 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 1,100. Last call then at 1,000. I'll make it 1,000.
7101.
7101. All right, lot 534. 400 I have now, 420, 440 now. What about 460? 460 now. What about 480? 480 now. What about 500? 500. This is the 25 livres from 1939. 5 now. What about 550? 550. What about 600? 600 to advance. There we go at 6 now. What about 650? 650 now. 800. Beautiful designs on the Syria type. 525 livres. I got 650. Do I see 700? I'm going to say fair warning then at 650. I will make that 650.
7101.
7101. All right, tough type here. Don't let that grade of fine 12 fool you. Lot 535.
775.
775, 800 now. What about, I've got a prior heritage. You know what that means. Jump in at 850 and they jump in at 850 now. What about 900? 900. An iconic type of difficult in any grade. I've got 850 now. What about 900? 900. Issued in 1942, 5 livres. Like I said, iconic because of how pretty or how unusual the design was for the time. 850 now. What about 900? I'm going to say fair warning then at 850. I'll make it 850.
7101.
7101. All right, an incredible type here, the 100 livres from World War II era. What we got, John? 6250 I have now, 65 now. What about 7,000? 7 I have now, 75, 75 now. What about 8,000? 8 I have now. What about 85 now? What about 9,000? 9 I have now. What about 95? 9,500 is what I need to advance here. I cut bid at 92.50. Really a nice example for what it is. Again, these notes, when you usually see them, and it's not usual when you see them, very seldomly do you see examples. But when you do, they're all taped up and you know, been worn and have issues. This is a very, very respectable inclusion in any collection. I have 9,000. Do I see 9,500? Cut bid at 92.50. I will say fair warning then at 9,000 for this rare type. I'll make it 9,000.
7101.
7101. All right, beautiful large size type here, AU55. Lot 537. 37 I have now, 42 now. What about 44? 4,400 to advance. Beautiful type, really is. It's just stunning. It's just, in terms of the French designs in that area, part of the world, it's just impeccable. I have 4,200. Do I see 44? 4,400 to advance. Up at 43 if that helps. AU55 on this one. Large size type. That the sort of fresh French printing paper, not very forgiving. How it survived in this sort of format is beyond me. It's at 42. Do I see 44? Last call then at 4,200. I'll make it 4,200. 732 and 9. Lot 538.
400.
I have 400 looking for 420. 420 I have now. Do I see 440? 25 livres. Tough type. I have 440 now. What about 460? 460 now. 480. 480 now. 500. 5 I have 550. 550 now. 600. 600 to advance. 575 I have 600. 6 I have 650. 650 to advance. Rather tough type. I sound like a broken record, Emily, but you know, do not think that the choice fine 15 is anything to be scoffed at. These notes, they just don't come around. I've got 600. Do I see 650? Last call then at 600. I'll make it 600.
7101.
7101. All right, lot 539. I need 500 to start me off on this one. BF20. Also 25 livres. I got 500. Do I see 550? 550 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 500. I'll make it 500. 7330. All right, the 50 livres, lot 540. 480 I have 55 now, 525 now. What about 550? BF25. Tough type. I have 525. Do I see 550? I have 550 now, 600. 600 to advance. I will say fair warning then at 600 now. What about 650? 650. I'm going to say fair warning and last call at 600. I'll make that 600. 7330. All right, last one for Syria. 100 livres. Beautiful XF40, lot 541. 825 now. What? 850 now. I have a prior Heritage Live jumping at 900. 9 I have now. What about 950? 950 to advance. 100, the 100 livres, 1958. We have 900, 925 on the cut now, 950. 950 now, 1,000. 1,000 to advance, yeah. I'm going to say fair warning then at 950. I'll make that 950. 7330 and 0. Over to Tahiti, lot 542. I have 1250 looking for 13 now. 13. What about 1400? 64 EPQ. I've got 1300. Do I see 1400? And this is an issued example. I got 14 now. What about 15? For a second there, I was like, it's such a good grade. It has to be a specimen. No, but it's issued. Pick 15B. It's 14 now. Do I see 15? 1500. Beautiful designs once again, and highly impressive in this kind of condition for an issued note of this type. I have 14 now. Do I see 15? Last call then at 1400. I'll make it 1400. 7102. Over Tangier. Lot 543. 875 now. What about 900? 900 to advance. My book bidders are, there we go at 999.50 now. What about, John says 950. What about 1,000? 1,000. XF40. I'm going to say fair warning then at 950. Oh, make that 950. The internet. All right, Tanatuba. A fairly strange region of the world, recognized, I think, by Russia and China as a country, but nowhere else. The briefest issuance of banknotes. The currency was called Aksha, and this is 3 Aksha, always popular. Lot 544. 775 now, 1100 now. What about 12? 1200 to advance. Heritage Live has it at 1100. I need 1200 to advance. Tanatuva. Last call at 1100. I'll make that 1100.
7331.
7331. All right, over to Thailand. Thailand lot 545.
1050.
1050 I have now. What about 1100? 1100. Remainder 64 EPQ. The EPQ is what makes it nice. I got 1050. Do I see 11?
1100.
11 I do now. What about 12? 1200. Young King there. I have 11. Do I see 12? Last call at 1100. I'll make that 1100.
7166.
7166. Specimen, we've got lot 546.
525.
525 I have now. 550. 550 to advance. I'm going 550 I have now. What about 600? Specimen for Thailand are scarce and very popular. I got 550. Do I see 600?
6.
I do have 6 now. What about 650? 650 to advance. Last call at 600. 625 on the cut. Now 650. Still looking for 650. They want 650 now. What about 700? They're warning at 650. Oh, mate. 700. I have 7, and it's got the Thomas De La Rue overstamps too. I've got 700. Do I see 750? They're warning at 700. I'll make that 700.
7166.
7166, you said, Emily. Trinidad and Tobago, lot 547. 825 I have now. What about 850? 850 now. What about 900. Vignette of Columbus landing. I have 850. Do I see 900? 875 now. 900. 9 I have. 950. 950. 9 I have. 950 now. What about 1,000? 1,000. 975 on the cut. Still looking for 1,000.
1000.
I have 1,000. What about 1,100? 1,100. 11 I have now. 12. 12 I have. 1,400 now. 13 I have. 1,400. Scarce type this.
14.
14 now. 15. 15 I have. What about 16? 16 I've got now. 17. 1,700. 17 I have now. 18. 1,800. 18 I have. 19. Very popular area of collecting Trinidad and Tobago. I got 19. Do I see 2,000? Last call then at 1,900. I'll make that 1,900.
7159.
7, 1, 5, and 9. All right, lot 548. 65 EPQ, 575 now, 650 now, 666. 666, what about 700? 700 to advance. Rather pleasing gem grade of 65 EPQ. 675. Now, what about 700? 700 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 675. At 675. 7332. All right, this is $5 Trinidad and Tobago lot 549. 700 now, 750, 800 now. What about 850? My book bidder is at 800. Do I see 850? 825 now, 850, 900. 875, 9. What about 950? 950, 1,000 now, 1,100. 11 now, 12. What about 13? 13. I've got a prior. You know what that means, Heritage Live. Jump in at 1,400. I'm going to say fair warning then.
14.
I have 14. That clears the book. I've got 14 now. What about 1,500? Last call then at 1,400.
15.
15 now. What about 16? 1,600. Fair warning at 15. 16 now. What about 17? 1,700. 1,650 on the cut. Still looking for 17. Last call at 1,650 on the cut. I'll make it 1,650.
7333.
7,333. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Remarkable. Very popular type, this for Tunisia, lot 550 and a whopping German circulator 65 EPQ, 850, looking for 1,900. 1,900 to advance. My book bidder has it at 1,850 on the cut for this pretty type, iconic type. Do I see 1,900 Heritage Live? Otherwise, I will say fair warning then at 1,850 on the cut. I'll make it 1,850. The internet. Over to Turkey. Or actually, no, didn't Turkey recently change its name? Turkey. Lot 551.
420.
At least when it was issued, it was still Turkey. 460 now, 480. 480 now, 480. What about 55 now, 550? 550 now, what about 600? 600 now, 650. I've got 650 now, what about 700? 675, still looking for 700. 700 now.
7.
I'd have the 7 now, what about 750? 750. At 20 kurush, I've got 700, do I see 750? I will say fair warning then at 700, 750 now. What about 800 for this elusive type?
800.
800 now, 850. I'm going to say fair warning then at 800. I don't make it 800.
I have 850.
850 now. What about 900? 900. Devin. Devin. Can I please have a bottle of water? My current bid is at 850. Do I see an advance at 9? Last call in at 850. 900 now. What about 850? 950. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I have 900. Do I see 950? 950. Last call in at 900. I'll make it 900.
7, 3, 3, 4.
7, 3, 3, and 4. All right, lot 552, Imperial Ottoman Empire. I got 200 piastres. What we got, John?
700.
700, looking for 750 now. 8 now. What about 850? 850 now. I do have 850, 900. What about 950?
950.
950. I have. What about 1,000? I have 1,000 now. What about 1,100? 11 now. 12. 12 now. What about 1,300? 13 I have. 14 now. What about 15? 1,500 to advance. I have 1,400. Do I see 15? I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,400. I'll make it 1,400 to the internet. Lot 553. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful example. 5 livres, 1909. What we got? 1150 now, 13 now, 15 now. What about 1,600? My Heritage Life bidder has it at 1,550 on the cut. Do I see 1,600? Large type issued. I mean, just spectacularly pretty. I've got 16 now. What about 17? 1,700.
17.
I have the 17 now. What about 1,800? 1,800. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1700 for this elusive type. And we'll make that 1700.
7335.
7335. All right, lot 554.
2000.
I have 2000 now, 21 now. What about 22? 65 EPQ is seen on this 100 livre specimen. I have a 2100 on the cut. Do I see an advance? 2200, 22 now, 24. 2400 to advance. Use your cuts, ladies and gentlemen. It's at 22 now. Do I see 24? 23 on the cut. You see every time. Almost every single time, Emily. Ask and you shall receive. I got 23 on the cut. Do I see 2400? 24. I do have 24 now. What about 2600? 2600. I'm going to say fair warning at 2400. 26 now. What about 28? 28 to advance. I got 27 on the cut. What about 2800? Last call at 2700. 28 now. 3000. 3000 to advance. Last call at 2800 for this pretty example. Make that 2800. 7257. All right, fully issued example now, lot 555. 21 I have now. What about 22? Large sized note. One could only fold it up into a million squares in order to fit it into whatever vessel you were carrying this large sum of money. I got 3 now, 32 now. What about 34? And so the 15 does not represent the scarcity and actually how absolutely beautiful this example is. It's 36 for what it is. It's 38 now, 4,000 now. What about 4,200? 4,200 is what I need to advance. My book is at 4,000. Jump in at 4,200, Heritage Live. I say this again. This is a large format note. You would have had to fold it up in several ways. And so this is the extent of these notes are already thin and they got banged around. It's at 4,000. Do I see 4,200? I'm going to say fair warning then at 4,000. I'll make it 4,000. Insane. All right, 557. All right, lot 556.
75.
I got 675 now, 7 now. What about 750? 750 to advance. AU 53. I have 700. Do I see an advance at 750? Here it is live. 750 I have now. What about 800? 800. Bright, pretty example. Retained all its color. It's at 750. Do I see 8? Last call at 800 now. What about 850? 850 I have now. 900. 900. Last call at 850. I'll make it 850.
7101.
7101. All right, errata on this lot. PMG erroneously called this example 110, but is in fact pick 92. The catalog would have the wrong information, but the online lot would have been updated and portrays all the correct relevant information. We've got lot 557.
575.
575 now, 6 now. I've got a prior Heritage Live jumping at 650. 650 now. What about 7? John shaking his head. That means Heritage Live has it at 650. Do I see 700 now? BF 30. One comes across from time to time the counterfeited example, but this is a fully issued, a real one at 650. Do I see 700? Last call, then at 650. I will make it 650. 7336. All right, lot 558. Highly popular example here, the 10 livres with the wolf to the right. What do we got, John? 1,600 I have now, 17 now. What about 1,800? 18 I have now. What about 19 now? What about 2,000? 2,000 I have now, 22. Do I see 2,200 to advance here? I have the 22 now. What about 24? 24. This is an XF40 with EPQ. I got 22 now, 24 now. What about 26? 26. Highly unusual as such. I've got 24 now. Do I see 2,600? 2,600 to advance. Cut better 25 if that helps. I'm going to say fair warning then at 2,400 for this popular type. At 2,400.
7337.
7337. Lot 509.
1450.
1450 now, 18 now, what about 19? Seldomly seen example with Ataturk on the right. I've got 19 now, 2000, what about 2200? 2200 to advance. My bid is at 2000. Do I see 22 or 21 on the cut?
41.
I have 21 on the cut now, what about 22? I'm going to say fair warning then on the cut of 2100. That's 2100. 7, 3, 2, and 7. All right, lot 560. 525 now, 550. Also seldomly seen type in issued format. 556 now, 650. 650. 650 now, 7 now. What about 750? 750.
750.
I do have the 750 now. What about 800? 800. I'm going to say fair warning at 750. We'll make it 750. 7338. All right, lot 561. 825 now, 850 now, 900. 9999. What about 950? 950. I have 1,000. I do. I see 1100. 1100. 1100 prior of 11. You know what that means, Heritage? I'm jumping at 1200. This is also, you very rarely, if ever, see these kind of notes in issued format. I have 30 now. What about 1400? With Ataturk to the right. I've been to Turkey, and there's Ataturk is just everywhere, every shop. I mean, I've got 1300 now. What about 1400? 1400 on the money, you know, on the boards, and I've got 1350 on the cut. Do I see 1400? I'm going to say fair warning then at 1350 on the cut.
14.
14 now. What about 15? I do love Turkey though. Some of the nicest people ever. 1400 now. What about 1500? Last call then at 1400. And we'll make it at 1400. 7338. Lot 562. 775 on the cut. I need 800. 800 now, 830, 833. You know what that means. Jump in at 850, 850 now. What about 900? I didn't even need a problem. I've got 850 now. Do I see 900? 9 I have now. Now what about 950? 950 to advance here. Large denomination, 45 EPQ specimen. I have 999. Do I see 950? Otherwise, I do have 950 now. 950. What about 1,000? 1,000 I have now. 1,100. 1,100. Otherwise, I will say fair warning. Then at 1,000, I'll make it 1,000. 11 I have now. 12. 12. 12 to advance. My current bid is at 1,100. I need 12 to advance. Fair warning at 1,100. I'll make that 1,100. 734 and 0. Last Turkey lot 563 in a 66 EP key holder. Unusual as such. These notes are so often pressed and doesn't have EPQ. This is a fully fresh embossed example. Lot 563. 775 now. 8, what about 850? 850 now. Do I see 850 to advance here? My bid is at 800. I need 850 or cut at 825. I'm going to say fair. I have 850 now. 99 now. What about 950? 950 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning. 925 now. What about 950? I'm going to say fair warning that at 925 on the cut. I'll make 950 now. Now I need 1,000. 1,000 to advance. Last call at 950. I'll make that 950.
7341.
7341. We also have some, just as a side note, we also have some really nice turkey coming up in our weekly sale. So check that out. All you turkey enthusiasts. What a note. One of my favorite notes in today's, or this sale, yesterday and today. This is Turks and Caicos under the British administration. Lot 564. Now, I don't know about you, John, but what could the population of Turks and Caicos have looked like in 1918? How many coconuts and how many people do you think? Yeah. So money supply would have been tremendously small because of its needs, and especially because this was during the Second World War. One could only imagine that getting this stuff to these far-reach places from England was tough. And so, what we got, John?
12,000.
12,000. I've got 13 now, 14, 13,000, and 12. Now, do I see 14, 14 now? What about 15,000? 15,000 I need to advance here. This absolute rarity, and it appeals to it ticks so many of the right boxes. It's absolute rarity. It ticks the colonial aspect of it, and then obviously the Caribbean aspect, and then just I know that we have collectors that collect odd places. There's no other way to describe it in terms of currency supply, definitely. And this is one of them. It is so obscure. It's at 16,500. Do I 17 now? What about 18,000? 18,000. Don't forget about your cut bids, ladies and gentlemen. Here and now is the place to use it. I got 17 now, 18 now. What about 19,000? 19,000 to advance. My Heritage Life Bidder has it at 18,000. I need 19 now. What about 20,000? 20,000. Again, we've had so many pieces during the sale where I again sound like a broken record, and I said it would become the cornerstone of any welcomed collection, and this would surely be it. It's at 20,000. Do I see 2022 now? What about 24? I mean, one could talk so much, and I would if I had the time, and if they would allow me, I would carry on talking, but I'm not allowed to. Emily told me I'm not allowed to. I got 24,000 now. Do I see 26,000? 26,000 to advance it. Don't forget about your cut bid. It's at 24,000. I need 26 to advance, or 25,000 on the cut for this really rather lovely piece. I am going to say fair warning then at 24,000, unless I see an advance, at 26,000 or 25,000 on the cut. And we'll make that 24,000. 7148. What a lovely piece. Congratulations. I genuinely mean that. All right, lot 565. This is Ukraine, an odd little denomination, 65 EPQ. These were never issued. They got lost somewhere, from Nazi Germany all the way to Ukraine. The train got blown up or something to that effect. I know that some survived, but not many. Oh, what we got, John? 5250 now. I was 6,000. I was 65. I got 6,000. I do. I see 6,500. 6,500. In fact, a lot of that era, Ukraine has become quite popular, especially for this period. I got 6,000. Do I see 6,500 in high grade? That's something to be added as well. And as can be seen here, it's got 65 EPQ. I got 6,000. 65 now. Do I see 7,000? 7,000 to advance. Up it at 6,750. If that helps. I'm going to say fair warning then at 6,500. I'll make that 6,500.
7152.
7152, you said, Emily?
Yes.
All right. Over to the UAE, lot 568.
3,500.
35 now, 36 now. What about 38? 3,800 to advance. I have 36. Do I see 38? I'm going to call fair warning at 3,600. I'll make that 3,600.
7342.
7342. All right, lot 567. This is Upper Senegal. What we got?
1111.
I got 11, 11 now, 12 now. What about 13? Another odd area of the world or odd region. I've got 1,200 and a very pleasing grade of AU50. It's Upper Senegal and Niger. I've got 1,200. Do I see 1,300? 1,300 to advance. It's also, the French they released this sort, or this variety that looked like this in various regions all over. And the theory behind it, and the printed coin on the back, is because of the shortage of metals. They printed the coins on paper. And so a very unusual area. It's at 1,200. Do I see 1,300? I'm going to say fair warning then at 1,200. I'll make that 1,200.
7168.
7168. All right, large-sized example here from Uruguay, another place I love. Lot 568. 859 now. What about 12? What about 1,300? My book bidder has it at 12. Do I see 1,300? large type in a 64 holder. I have 1200 with John's book bidder. Do I see 1300? 1300 to advance, or a cut bid at 1250. I have 13 now, 14. What about 15? 15. The food was amazing in Uruguay. I mean, the meat galore, being a South African. I mean, meat's where it's at. It's definitely not a place for vegetarians, I can tell you that. The mercados, and I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They butterflied cows, you know, like you do with shrimp. They have that on spits at these mercados. Wonderful. 1500, do I see 1600? I have 1500, do I see 1600 to advance? Last call then at 1500. That's 1500. 7222. All right. Oh, 569. 420 I have now, 450 now. What about 550 now, 600. 600 to advance. Also, again, we're in Uruguay, 1873. What's the math on that, Devin? 550 now, 600. 600 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 550. And we'll make that 550.
7343.
7343. All right, lot 570. Incredibly designed East European example here. Infinitely popular. What we got, John? 1400 I have now. What about 1500? 1500 to advance. I'm going to say fair warning then at 1400, unless I see an advance at 15. And we'll make that 1400 to the internet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for joining us today. Congratulations on all the winners, to all the winners, and thank you for all the participation. It's greatly appreciated. I'd like to thank everybody in the room today also for your endeavors. I think it went rather smoothly. We didn't have any of those usual cutouts, Devin, with the system. I think the rain helped us. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. But anyway, so back to business. We have concluded 4049 now, but we do have our sale coming up in June, our Hong Kong sale, and we're still taking submissions or consignments for that. It's going to be another exciting offering. We also then have our October sale in Europe, which is also going to, which we also are taking consignments for, and it will also be a great offering as usual. We have unusually exciting offering in our monthly sale, our Hong Kong monthly sale, starting I think today, ending next month. It is probably, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen and what I've handled, it is the most concise, China-specific, specialized note, concise collection that we've offered for sure, and probably what I've ever seen. So please go check that out. Don't miss out on that, because the fun never stops here at Heritage Life. And then obviously there's our weeklies on every Tuesday, which are very fun and lies very dear to my heart because it is so much fun. All right, thank you so much. And again, good night.